He's gone straight through. Racing through. Picks it out of the air and scores. That's one of the great rugby league tries.
The continuous call team is thanks to the new Holden Colorado. With up to 500 Newton metres of torque, it won't look new for long. Tonight, footy fires up.
Puts it high in the air. Gee, that's so high it'll bring rain.
The continuous call team.
He's not far away as he really pumped those big legs. He's finding a bit of space, the big fella. Goes for the ball, takes it superbly. Opens for scoring with a 4-pointer.
David Morrow.
Striding downfield. He'll score into the back door. Oh, he's left them straggling.
Darryl Brohman.
Jesus, some quality players out there. What a quality game of football this is.
Mark Riddell.
They look really sharp with all their execution in their plays.
And Mark Levy.
We know he's a big muscly type of human. He just fended them up like flies.
The continuous call team is thanks to Holden, Coles Supermarkets, Lowe's, Coates Hire, Shimano, McDonald's, Tyre Power, Bryden's Compensation Lawyers, Harvey Norman, Bed Easy, Paddy's Markets, AAMI, The Daily and Sunday Telegraph, IMB, Accor Hotels and Blackwoods.
There's the kick. It looks sweet. It looks good. It's very good.
Parramatta Eels
Taken at a great tackle. A metre out from the goal line.
versus Manly Sea Eagles.
Makes himself an extra special hero. He scores under the black dot.
Now, live right across Australia, Mark Levy.
And a very good evening to you. Welcome along to the 2015 Telstra Premiership with the continuous call team. This is the best commentary team in the business, and you'll hear all the NRL action over the next 7 months. Friday, Saturday and Sundays with over 19 hours of fun, frivolity and footy. Headed up by Ray Hadley and a few new voices joining the team this year who you'll get to know a bit more over the course of the weekend. But here at Pertex Stadium tonight, a mouth-watering showdown between Parramatta and Manly. Anthony Watmough up against his former club, and the Eels beginning life without superstar Jared Hayne. As far as the Sea Eagles go, well, all the talk is centred on the future of Daly Cherry Evans and Kieran Foran. There's also reports of tensions between the hierarchy and the coach Jeff Turvey. He's on shaky ground. But it all shapes up to be a wonderful night of rugby league action. Now, in the Holden Cup match, we've just had full time and Manly has defeated Parramatta by 54 points to 26. So a big win to Manly, 54 points to 26, Manly over Parramatta. As far as the weather conditions go, very, very nice night for rugby league. Picture perfect, in fact. And we're told this game will go close to a sellout here at Pertex Stadium. I'd estimate to say we're up around the 12,000 mark at this stage as the crowd continues to roll through the gates. And Mark Riddell back with the continuous call team in 2015. We'll check in with him a little later on tonight. He's down on the touchline. Still waiting on team news. There's a few new ways of getting team news this year, but obviously the NRL having a few issues with the websites, how we get those. So as soon as we can bring you the team news, we will. I'll mention the debutants for either side. Of course, Anthony Watmough for the Eels. You've got Reece Robinson, Brad Takarangi and Bo Champion as well. And for the Sea Eagles, Feleti Mateo, his first appearance in the Sea Eagles colours, along with Luke Burgess and Willie Mason. The lead referee for the match is the experienced Matt Chechen. He'll be assisted by Henry Perinara, and the video refs in the box next to us, Bernard Sutton and the former Canterbury fullback Luke Patton. Last night, South Sydney kicked off its premiership defence with an impressive 36-6 win over Brisbane. The Rabbitohs proving they'll be hard to beat again this year. And that trophy cabinet is nearly at capacity. Auckland Nines, World Club Challenge, Proven Summons Trophy. It looks like it's going to be another fantastic year for the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Now, you can join in tonight by logging on to 2gb.com and clicking onto the feedback icon, and we'll endeavour to get to those throughout the night. All right, time to welcome in the team from Pertex Stadium here at Parramatta, starting with a bloke who you all know and love. He's back bigger and better in 2015. His name is the Big Man, Darryl Brohman. Good afternoon, good evening to you.
Mark, good evening to you, and welcome to David. Good luck, mate. With us, we're different. You're going to find it different, Dave. So I know he'll introduce David very shortly, but it's great to have him on board. G'day to Piggy and g'day everybody. Great to be back for the footy. It's been a long time, hasn't it? A long time coming, 5 months or so, but again, a very anticipated season coming up, and what a game this is. I actually think this is the match of the round for a few reasons, given the fact that there are, I think, 4 ex-Manly Warringah players in the Parramatta lineup, and Anthony Watmough certainly has lit the fuse to I would say, will be a fairly fiery clash in the forwards. I'm sure he'll be very keen to get out there and get stuck into the Manly Sea Eagles. They seem, given all the off-field stuff, I wouldn't say they're on their knees, but they look to be very much a divided club. But the one thing I know about Manly when times are tough, you know they're going to dig in, and there's no doubt they'll be competitive here tonight. They've got a few injury problems as well, Manly. Don't worry about that, because Steve Maddai would be in this side. There's no doubt Jamie Buer would be there. Josh Starling would be there as well, and so would George Tafua. So they've got 4 of their 17 are out of the side. So, you know, they are under strength here tonight, but you know they're going to come with the right attitude. It'll be interesting to see what happens with them. I think Parramatta can win tonight. I love their back row. Manu Mao, Mo Arar and Wat Mao. Gee whiz, that's a good back row. I think they're really going to take Manly on, and I think they'll get the money.
Yeah, it's going to be a great clash whichever way you look at it. Mark Riddell's down on the touchline. We'll say hello to him before we welcome in the newest member of the continuous call team. I saw him on the way in, big man.
Oh, no.
He was tucking into a nice big juicy ice cream from one of the ice cream trucks on the way in. We'll say hello to David in a moment, but in the meantime, Mark Piggy Riddell's down on the touchline. Hello to you, Piggy.
Good evening, Mark. Good evening, Darryl and Dave. Boys, beautiful conditions down here tonight. I know it was very hot this afternoon when we came into the ground, but as that sun sets in the west, it's beautiful down here. We've got a slight southerly blowing, but yeah, I'm with Darryl. I think this is going to be a great game tonight. Friday night footy, all the sides, they've been training for so long, and now they get to put their plays into practice in game situations. It's going to be a cracker. You want to set the tone for your season with the first round, and both of these sides, they'll be looking to do that tonight.
Yep, well said, Piggy. Thank you, mate. We'll come back to you in a moment. But it's time, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome in the great man who we're used to working with a couple of boxes down from us. He's here. You know, we have parking out here too, David. He caught the train, can you believe it?
He's catching the train to Newcastle tomorrow.
Ladies and gentlemen, David Morrow, good evening to you and welcome to the team.
Thank you, Mark. And Darryl and Mark. Well, it's 2 Marks, isn't there? But, yeah, well, it's a long time since I worked with Darryl. He had a season, remember, between stables. So, you know, he actually had a season at the ABC when I was there. So
that's when I'd had Life in a Day from the People's Champion. I was out of there. But
so that's 11 years ago. So, yeah, but I love working with Darryl. And, of course, I've had a lot of time and a lot of fun watching Mark Riddell. He still has the best post-try celebration in the history of the game that day against the Cowboys in Wollongong. And you and I have had a few times together in recent years, and none better than the London Olympics.
Yes.
So it was, yeah, it's going to be fabulous. And I'm, like everyone, looking forward to this game tonight. I mean, he hasn't even lit the fuse. Manly is toxic. It's not a bad way to start, is it? Anthony Watmo
still lives there. Still lives there, by the way.
What about Brad Arthur, though? He came out in his press conference yesterday and tried to pour cold water on it. He said, oh, no, he loves Manly. He spent some quality time over there. He didn't want to rev him up too much. But did you have any trouble when you got here? You didn't walk into the wrong box, or everything was under control?
I didn't walk into the wrong box, but I did have a pop in there. Yeah, there's a couple of people there that obviously I've worked for a long time with. So I did say hello, same as people come up here to say hello to you. So it's going to be a bit like that, no doubt. Actually, an interesting, you talk about the first game of the year, Mark and of course Darryl especially. Is during the week, someone was telling me a story about James Graham, the big Englishman, possibly the best forward in the game actually, but apparently someone said, what's all this rubbish about shortening the season? And they said, they're thinking about it. He said, for heaven's sake, no. He said, if we shorten the season, Desi will kill us even more. Yes. So let us get on the paddock.
Exactly. No,
they'd be desperate to get out and have a game. I mean, they're like cage lions, aren't they, footballers? It's the toughest part of the year, I think, when you are training and doing the pre-season stuff. And as you said, James Graham would have got hammered by Desi, so they'd just be delighted to get out here, get back into routine, play some good footy. And you know what is remarkable, and even though last night's games copped a bit of criticism, and rightly so, I didn't think it was a great spectacle, but the last 5 years I've been just amazed at the quality of football they play. As soon as they hit the ground running, these sides, and you'll see it tonight. This will be, I think, a really good game of footy.
I thought South just played too well last night. I mean, Brisbane were disappointing. Is that the fair comment? And
they dropped a lot of ball, Brisbane. But
when South got up there, South just played what they had to do. And then when South got the chance to put them to the sword, they put them to the sword. They played some really good footy. So from that point of view, I really enjoyed it. And I enjoyed the fact, I thought there was certainly, on just sitting at home watching on telly, it seemed to me the game was faster. There was certainly a lot more getting off more quickly, it seemed to me, with it, and not as much wrestle anyway.
Well, of course, that's one of the new interpretations of the rules, which we'll see throughout the year, and we saw it last night, and of course tonight with Matt Chechen officiating out there with Henry Perinara. The fact that the referees, when they call held, the players on there in the past, they used to peel off one at a time. Well, they have to all peel off as one.
I don't know how they do that. I don't know how they do that, to be honest with you. If there's blokes lying on top of you, if you're on the bottom, you just can't peel off.
Well, you and Mark were never quick at getting off.
No, never at all. But, I'm happy for them to do it, as long as they use some common sense here, and they're not just penalising them for the sake of penalising them. If there's someone lying on top of you, you can't get up. You physically can't peel off. So, maybe you penalise the bloke on top. I don't know, but it hasn't been a great couple of weeks for the NRL, I don't think, administration-wise.
No, absolutely, and they're under a bit of pressure at the moment to deal with a few issues too. Now, as far as team news goes for this game tonight between Parramatta and Manly, we've just been handed the team sheets. No changes to either side. Both the Parramatta Eels and Manly, 1 through to 17, which is fantastic to see for this game tonight. Emails are coming through via 2gb.com. Click onto the feedback icon. Here's one from Bill down there in Bendigo. Great to have footy back, mate. Can you do me a huge favour? Big welcome to David Morrow. Now, David, you've been rehearsing for the step up to the big time for decades. Just relax with no pressure. Remember, a bloke by the name of Billy Birmingham is just a phone call away if you stuff it up. On your team, let's get into it.
Dave, you could be making, and this is not a criticism, it's just an observation, you could be making one of the oldest debuts of all time here. I'm not sure of your age, but you would be...
Put this way, I'm older than Ray.
Okay, so you're older than 60, but you're making your debut, commercial radio, at over 60 years of age.
No, not really. I mean...
You're allowed to call this Pertec Stadium.
Yes, I am allowed to call it Pertec Stadium. And the other thing about it is that, mate, I started in commercial radio way back in 1971.
Oh, did you? Who with?
2KM in Kempsey. And, of course, Ray and I have an affinity even with that area as well. So,
well, I'm sorry for those people listening from 2KM. Is 2KM still around?
I think it's 2MC they call it now.
Oh, okay.
So there we are.
David, when I first started with the continuous call team, Darryl Brohman likes to take people under his wing and offer some friendly words of advice.
I've done a lot of good stuff.
And I think it's probably about now where, Darryl, you'd like to offer David Morrow some words of advice.
Well, David, look, let me just say this. This is a very, very, very big night in your career. I know you've been in the radio business for 35 years, or maybe more, I don't know. But this is a very, very big night. You're now in the power station. Please, and just take this on board. Don't stuff it up tonight. Whatever you do, don't stuff this up, because we've got a lot of people snapping at your heels to be number 2 caller here.
Like who?
You.
No.
You.
I'm learning off
you.
David Morrow.
Chris Warren.
We're happy doing what we're told.
It's a very competitive station.
I'm looking forward to working with you.
I'm very happy to have the opportunity to continue enjoying what I love doing, and that's calling rugby league.
I think at a pinch, Piggy could call it. Piggy,
down to you.
No, I like this seat here. I'm very comfortable in this seat down here.
You'd be all right. You'd be up here in the comforts of the broadcast box, picked up, put down in a crunching tackle. You'd be right, son. Come on.
Yeah, I know. I just don't want to pump my own tyres too much. But I reckon I can do it.
There is another issue that I think is sweeping rugby league circles too tonight. I mean, we've had all the drama in the off-season, but I think the big talking point now, and we noticed it before, Andrew Johns, is he dyeing his hair? Would anyone like to come with me on that? I had a close look at him. He came up here before, and I did notice it on television. It looked a bit different last night, but close up, I think he is.
Is it a new cut or new colour?
It might be a new cut. I think it's a bit of both. There's a new style to it, and I also think it looks to me a little bit browner than what it was before. I don't know has anyone else noticed that?
Well, I didn't, because I don't normally have a look at Joey's hair to see what colour it is.
Well, Mark,
but this way I'd notice if it was orange or blonde or something like that.
Mark, what about you?
Well,
got any opinion?
If I'm risking here...
Not risking anything.
If I'm risking
all we
offending...
want is the truth. All we want is the truth.
I may offend a rugby league immortal by saying this, but I'm with you. I am with you. Andrew Joey Johns is colouring his hair. It's a lighter brown.
Do you think Piggy would have an opinion?
I do.
What do you think?
Well, I actually cornered him out the back and dobbed you in, Big Mark.
Yeah, of course you did. And what do you think when you had a close look at it?
I actually agree with you. I think he's had a little bit of a light brown, maybe blonde rinse.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about that. I think what could have happened when he was getting the fake tan done, it may have sprayed in his hair as well. You know, that's quite possible.
He's had an unusual off-season, though, because the beaches in Newcastle were closed for a fair while, so he couldn't get out into the surf.
Exactly.
No, he just got a plane to Hawaii. That's all he did. And surfing there for...
So are you alleging that there is no longer, well, there probably still is the Channel 9 dentist, we now have the Channel 9 hairdresser?
Yes, I think there's no doubt. I think we'll have to get a song made up, the Channel 9 hairdresser, because Joey's had the teeth done, who else? I mean, he's got the hair done. What else is he going to have done? I mean, there's other options.
Oh, hang on a second. Don't go there. You'll get us taken off air. Now, we're just hearing that Jared Hayne has entered the building, which is fantastic news for all the Parramatta Eels supporters. He enjoyed some wonderful years here at the Eels, and that's great news. And he's down there on the touchline. There he is as he walks out onto the sideline. He's going to have a chat with Channel 9. We might even see if Mark Riddell, after the Channel 9 commitments, might be able to catch up with Jared Hayne as well, and we wish him all the very best. And we'll have a chat about that a little later on tonight with him going over to play for the San Francisco 49ers. Crowd continues to roll in here at Pertec Stadium. No changes to either side, Parramatta and Manly. We'll take our first break and come back with more on the Continuous Call.
The Continuous Call team on 2GB is thanks to Holden, Coles Supermarkets, the Daily and Sunday Telegraph, IMB, Accor Hotels and Blackwoods.
Welcome back. Mark Levy, David Morrow, Darryl Brohman and Mark Piggy Riddell, who's giving us the thumbs up from down on the touchline. He will have a chat to Jared Hayne, who, of course, is making the switch over to the NFL. It was looking like Detroit for a little while, and then he made the announcement during the week that he'll be joining the San Francisco 49ers. He leaves a big hole, doesn't he, Darryl, at Parramatta?
Absolutely. He's their best player by far. But you know what? I still think that originally I thought they won't be able to recover from that. I thought it was almost terminal for them with regards to this year. But looking at their side, I think they will have a good year, and I think they are going to be on the fringe of the 8. You know, they might do better than that. They might do worse. I'm not sure. But you know what? I want to talk about Jared Hayne. I think it's fantastic what he's doing. I really do. I mean, he's sacrificing. You know, he could have stayed here and earned really good money, probably around $1 million a year, I would think. He'd be that sort of player. There's no doubt about that. But he's taken the punt. He's following his dream, and I really respect him for that. It's not going to be easy for him, but you know what? I think he's so single-minded and he's so determined to do it, and given the fact that he is one of our elite rugby league players, there's no doubt about that. I think he can succeed over there.
And, David, I liked what he said in his original press conference, Jared Hayne, that it was one of those decisions that he had to make because he thought to himself, if I keep playing rugby league, I'm going to think, what if? And why didn't I do it?
Look, you have that all your life, and you're a long time retired. I just wished he'd done it, say, 4 years ago. I saw him one night. He ran third in the footballers' sprint when Lockie Turner won it a couple of years ago out when Usain Bolt was here just before the Commonwealth Games in New Delhi. And I got the feeling that night that Jared had never learnt to run 100 metres. If he actually got out of the blocks all right, he blows them away. And the other two kids, Grant and Turner, were both accomplished sprinters. And even though I don't think he's lost his speed, I just wonder whether he can keep it up for the next 3 years. But I think the biggest hole, Darryl, is that you Queenslanders must be crying like anything. But you take him out of New South Wales side last year. Queensland wins the State of Origin.
Yeah, you're right. And I think the year before they only won the one game, and I think he only played one game in 2013, and that was the game New South Wales won. So he's a massive loss for the Blues. I mean, there's a lot of very good fullbacks around, but he's on another level. He is a superstar. I wish him well. I'm really pleased for him. I love to see young blokes follow their dreams and try and accomplish it, and I think he can.
And Piggy, you played with him here at the Parramatta Eels. He's, terrific bloke, fantastic athlete. He would have impressed you, surely.
Yeah, he's... look, at the end of the day, of all the players I've played with, if there was someone who was going to go over there and do it, it's Jared Hayne. The things that I saw him do throughout training were phenomenal. Just his footwork, the speed, the power... and all those attributes that you need in that NFL game. And look, I'm with you guys. I'm so excited. Look, I'm a bit of an NFL fan. I wouldn't say I'm a huge NFL fan, but now I am. And now I followed another side, and now I'm going to follow the 49ers purely because Jared Hayne's going over there to try and make it. And I just think it's amazing. I think it's a great what's the word I'm looking for? Just a great inspiration to young kids to follow your dreams.
Yep.
I just think it's amazing that he's thrown away the money that he has to chase something that he just wants to do in life. And you got to tip your hat to him.
Well, Piggy, if you're an NFL fan, it's one sport that I really have never got into. What are they talking? Running back, or what sort of position does he fit?
Yeah. Look, I've read a fair bit about a lot of people who have had a lot to say about it. I think he'll start off as a kick returner or a punt returner, where he's pretty much just got to catch the ball like he does at fullback and run and make as much ground as he possibly can. You mentioned running back. Yeah, I think that's the position that they've sort of penciled him in for. But look, it's going to take time. It's going to take a lot of hard work from him, and he's mentioned that already.
Will he score touchdowns, Piggy?
Well, look, I was actually thinking the other day, I wonder if you can get a bet on Jared Hayne scoring a touchdown yet. What odds they'd give you in the NFL?
Probably will. I'm sure some of the bookies will have something up like that. They like those sort of different sort of bets.
If they can bet Rory McIlroy's father at the age of 5, he can win 4. He can win 4 majors before he's 25, or whatever the ridiculous odds were. So, someone will bet you about Jared Hayne getting a touchdown. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, I don't think there's much doubt about that. Oh, good on him. I congratulate him. I think it's a fantastic.
Why don't you lay down the track for him to put to the highlights reel for his first touchdown? Go on, big man. Call his first touchdown.
No, I'm not.
Cast your mind forward to his first game for the San Francisco 49ers. Here's the opportunity in Super Bowl whatever. Darryl Brohman steps up to the plate. Here's Jared Hayne bursting through. Take it away, big man.
Oh, my God. Look at this Aussie. He's got the ball. What's his name? It's Hayne. Hayne's running through. He's going to go straight through. I can't do this. Hayne. It's the Hayne plane.
What they say, it'll be
Aussie guys.
Hayne out of Australia. I mean, they always say where they've come from.
Yeah.
It's like it's a fill-in. He's out of Oklahoma.
Can you talk more American, please, Dave?
No, I'd rather call it an Australian, to be honest.
Biggie, you've watched a bit of NFL.
Yeah.
Are those commentators in the States jobs safe?
I think so. I'd like to hear a bit more from Big Man.
No, you won't be hearing any more.
I like his American accent.
I do some great stuff, American ways.
2GB.com for emails. They're
Here's
coming
my
through.
friend, Hank Lobster. Hello, Hank. You're Hank Lobster.
Your best one was Arnie.
Hi, I'm Arnie.
Oh, it's good to have you back.
Come on.
How was your off season? Was it
Had a
wonderful?
lovely off-season, mate. I did very little. I had a couple of holidays. I went to Vanuatu. I mentioned that. Well, I worked, give my guts on the Sunday session over summer, so rated very highly too. I just thought I'd throw that in before I get hammered tomorrow. By the way, before we get started, if you are listening in tomorrow, I'm tipping Hadley will open up with the trumpet. The troops have arrived and all that stuff. He'll bag the show. Well, there's no ratings out yet, so he can't bag it. So.
I hear it went very well. I didn't hear it, unfortunately, but I hear it went very well.
David, look, you're in commercial radio. Stop coughing on air.
I look forward to it. I do look forward to it. Here's some emails. Pete writes, "G'day, boys. At last, the planets have aligned, and David Morrow is where he should be with the continuous call team. Great to hear you on the wireless again, Dave. Go the Storm." Pete the Truckie. Thank you, Pete. Brian writes as well from Coral Bay over in WA. "Welcome to David from Wolfie. Still travelling in the caravan in Coral Bay, WA.
He's a fella, he comes from Rockhampton, I think. He's been spending most of the last 3 or 4 years since he retired. He gets in the caravan and goes round Australia every year. He's a bit like Bats and Flinders, only on air, on land. And he'll send an email about once every week or so, and he catches up with another bloke out at Longreach. And
Have you met Phil Frisch yet?
Hey?
Met Phil Frisch. He's one of our emailers.
It's taken half an hour and he gets a mention.
You're going to love Phil Frisch. He is a 2GB-aholic. He just loves, he listens to all the shows, but he particularly loves the continuous call team. And you, my friend, are going to be, I think, inundated with emails from Phil Frisch, because later on, I reckon in the year, you'll be reading, you used to read emails out, didn't you, on the ABC?
Yes.
Well, you'll be doing that one day, mate. You're here, when you're calling it, you'll be able to go through all our sponsors. Do you want to have a crack at going through our sponsors now? Have we got some bits of paper there? I just want to hear you name some sponsors.
You can welcome in the sponsors.
Well, the primary partner is Holden. Thanks to the new 2015 Holden Colorado, it won't look new for long.
Quality.
Now, the major partner, and there's one in Randwick, I know that, Coles Supermarket.
Yes.
Mate, they're all, I've got a tip for you, they're all over the place.
Oh, are they? Well, there's no Coles at Coogee. Now, this is your one, isn't it? This yours? This is
What
all
is
about you, isn't it? McDonald's?
Yeah,
McDonald's new and permanent spicy jalapeno chicken burger has raised the bar in flavour. So,
yes, I love. Is that
you like the jalapeno one? You like
Jalapeno.
that? Did you like hot food, don't you?
Oh, well, I like food. Prefer it heated, but I don't know about jalapeno, as you just said it. Isn't it jalapeno?
Jalapenos.
Yeah, mate, keep going. You got more stuff.
And now,
Is there a Lowe's one there?
yeah, the scoreboard, Lowe's. So
We love Lowe's.
the low scoreboard earlier in the afternoon just kept rattling up as the Manly fullback Trebojevic kept scoring tries in the under-20s game. Was it 56 to 26? He scored at least 3 of them.
Yep.
He is something special.
What about around the grounds? Who we got there for that?
Around the grounds? paddysmarket.com.au.
Paddy's Market. It's a fantastic place.
Used to go to Paddy's a lot because it's a bit further down that end of town from 2GB.
It's not Paddy O'Brien's, the pub, it's Paddy's Market.
Paddy's Markets. Keep going, there's more here. Make sure you give them all a mention.
Yeah, hello. Shimano.
Shimano, magnificent.
I used to listen a lot on Saturday afternoon when you and Blocky used to talk about Shimano all the time.
We talked about Shimano. They're a great company, mate.
A great company. And Tyre Power. Get the power of Australia's biggest independent tyre retailer.
Brilliant.
Tyre Power.
Don't forget our man of the match,
Bryden's Compensation Lawyers.
You might need that if you start bagging the ABC.
And Coates Hire, we better get in with Coates Hire now because the video ref mightn't get a go.
Yes.
So if the video ref doesn't get a go, Coates Hire doesn't get as many mentions. But Coates Hire, keep your job on time and on budget. Coates Hire, 131552.
Oh, this is quality.
I've never heard that out of your mouth before. Well done, mate.
This is wonderful. We've got the Manly Sea Eagles warming up at the southern end of Pertex Stadium. We need to take a break. No changes to either side as we count down to the big one, Manly and Parramatta from Pertex Stadium.
The continuous call team on 2GB is thanks to Holden, Coles Supermarkets, Lowe's, Harvey Norman, Bet Easy, Paddy's Markets and AAMI.
And it's fantastic to have your company the first time in 2015. The continuous call team, Mark Levy alongside David Morrow, Darryl, Brohman and Mark Riddell down on the touchline. Piggy, as we come back down to you, I know you're waiting to have a chat with Jared Hayne, but as the Parramatta Eels ran out onto the hallowed turf of Pertex Stadium, there was an almighty roar.
Yeah, look, there certainly was. First game of the season. I remember playing here on a Friday night. There was nothing better. It was a huge buzz in a big packed house on a Friday night at Parramatta Stadium. I was just quickly having a chat to Luke Burt. I asked him how he thought they'd fared, how they'd prepared throughout this week. He's expecting big things from him. He thinks that they're going to get out of the blocks really fast tonight. So I'm really looking forward to that.
All right, Piggy. Thank you, mate. We'll let you chase up Jared Hayne. You haven't taken your eyes off him. Fair dinkum. He's a good man on the side.
A lot of other people haven't either.
Yeah.
he's a big attraction.
Exactly right.
Can I say this about Parramatta and Darryl?
Yes.
I mean, the raps on Brad Arthur as a coach before he came here were very big. And I think a lot of people have underestimated this guy. He might be one of these guys that, a bit like Bellamy and Maguire and a few others, that can really lift a person's game. And I'll be very surprised if Parramatta don't make the 8. Remember, Pete's missed most of last year. Yep. He was their number one hooker and was having blinder after blinder early in the year. Like a lot of sides.
No Hayne, mate.
No Hayne. And Kenny Edwards is out for the year too, isn't he? And he was an important part of that side going forward. Look, I know all that, Darryl, but I just think that there's some really good players in this Parramatta side that I think, like every team in that group, in that belly of the cigar, injuries are going to play an important role. If you don't have any, you're going to be there at the end of the year.
Yeah, I don't think there's much doubt about that. Look, they're not in my 8, but they could make it easy. I said that before. They could finish. If they have a super year, they could finish in the 4. I don't think there's much doubt about that. I think that they're big boys, and they've got a great young back row, except for Watmo. But Manu, or whatever. How do you call him? Ma'u. Yeah. And I love Mo Aroa. I just think he is just a quality player. Only a kid. I think he's only 19 years of age or something like that.
Second year out of school. 2 years ago, he's playing first for Newing.
He's a quality player, and you put that on the back of. Manor needs to have a big year for them this year, I think. I know Timmy Manor's a very good player. He's represented his country and his state, etc. But I think they need to get a bit more out of Timmy Manor this year. He's their captain. He needs to lead the way. As you said, Pete's missed a fair whack of last year. That's the reason they got Isaac de Goyce there. And what a season he had when he came over from Cronulla to Parramatta. But, mate, the winger's as exciting as any winger in the competition. Semi Radradra. He's just a sensational player. I'm looking forward to them having a good season. I think they'll have a good season, but I think they'll fall short.
Well, Piggy, you've let him go, son. He's got up the tunnel. Piggy, what are you doing?
He's had to go up with the staff from Parramatta.
Well, get after him. Go on. We'll let you chase him up. We need to take a break. We've just been handed a piece of paper. Kick-off time officially, 7:58. So not the 7:45 as advertised. That's local time. 6:45 in Queensland. The official kick-off time 7:58.
Unless it's not at 10 past 12 or something. It was about 12 minutes past 8 last night, wasn't it?
You'd have trouble getting to Newcastle on time tomorrow.
You may as well go now. You get a train from here.
We'll take a quick break and come back with more on the continuous call.
The continuous call team on 2GB is thanks to Holden, Coles Supermarkets, Coates Hire, Shimano, McDonald's, Tyre Power and Bryden's Compensation Lawyers.
Yeah, here at Pertex Stadium, the two teams out on the ground warming up. The Parramatta Eels at the northern end and the Manly Sea Eagles at the southern end. Big man, estimate crowds for me. We love doing that on Fridays.
This is a nice crowd here. I know kickoff was scheduled, I think, for quarter 2, and it's going to now be another 15 minutes or nearly 20 minutes until this kicks off. At the moment, I would say there's about 13 or 14,000 here. I'm not sure. This holds, 20-odd thousand, I would imagine. This won't be far off being full here. I think that's a really healthy sign, and so it should be. You've got Parramatta, who are one of the best supported sides in the competition. This is one of the great stadiums, one of the suburban stadiums, and they're up against the old foe, Manly. I mean, they're on the... Well, the season hasn't even started, and they're almost on their knees here, Manly. This is a great opportunity for Parramatta to start the season well. And I think, and I know we say it nearly every year, but I think it's really apt this year. I think the opening round is so important for so many sides this year. I think particularly this game for Parramatta tonight is really important. I think for the Sharks on Sunday, after the horror 2 years they've had, I think it's imperative they get off to a good start and beat Canberra on Sunday. But in saying that, I'm sure the Canberra supporters are thinking exactly the same thing. They've hardly been killing it over the last few years as well. But I think this round is such an important round for a variety of reasons for a lot of clubs.
And I know I'm stating the obvious here, David, but it just seems every year there is really a sense of excitement round one. I mean, walking into the football this afternoon, walking into Parramatta Stadium, you just get goosebumps just thinking about, the football we watched last night and the going to get better tonight between Manly and Parramatta.
You're right. I think a lot of people, certainly in Sydney, have been looking forward to this game because, the competition kicked off in Brisbane last night. First time, I think, since 1992 that they actually had the season opener in Brisbane. But this game has basically been, it's something to whet the appetite, isn't it? The two old rivals and, great clubs that, featured so heavily in those competitions when you were playing. I mean, you'd have hated playing against both of them, I reckon.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, mate,
not because you didn't like it, it was just that they were just so good in that era.
We just keep beating them.
Yeah.
When I was at the Dogs, not when I was at Penrith.
2GB.com, click on feedback for emails. There's one here from John at Padstow. John at Padstow loves the continuous call team, and he loves you too, David Morrow. He says that you're fitting in like a glove. Wonderful to have David Morrow on the power station. Good on you, John at Padstow. One here from Dave in Sydney. What I want to know is why David Morrow's nickname is Thirsty. Does he drink a lot of water?
Oh, hello. I do. He should drink a lot. I bet he drinks a lot of water to hydrate himself.
I do drink a lot of water, yes.
David, do you drink a lot of beer?
Yes, I do drink. I don't think I drink that much beer now as I've got older. But
hang on. He doesn't drink a lot of beer. He enjoys a drink. And there's nothing wrong with that if it's done in moderation.
Someone told me yesterday, I left the TGB office on Wednesday.
Yes.
And someone said, gee, you and Mark Levy are going to get on well together. I said, why is that? They said, he enjoys a rashes too. I said, oh, that's nice.
Oh, rashes? Leave me out of that. What?
I don't know who knew you, but anyway.
They still make rashes?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Yes, they do.
Geez, there'd be a very few places they'd make rashes. Well, they were poor rashes.
Do you want me to go?
He knows exactly where they make it.
I'm just going to tell you something about the crowd here over the years.
Yes.
Both these clubs, actually. Brookvale's probably the most difficult ground to assess 5 minutes before a game because sometimes you say, gee, this is a poor crowd, and they've had 2 sets and the ground's absolutely jam-packed.
They come in late there.
Well, they get into the Leagues Club here too because it's not far to go. I mean, they've got the televisions on, they've got closed circuit over there. I say, we've got time for another one. Yeah. Or they go and have dinner. I mean, the game's not going to finish till 10 o'clock at night. What's the logical thing to do? Go and have dinner, sit-down meal or something and stroll across to the ground.
Yeah.
They've got their seats. They don't have to be in here to watch the warm-up. So, and it's a Friday night, so they're all going to work.
Yeah. And you're so practical.
He's a thinker.
He thinks outside this. Is it square or circle?
He's joined the...
Which one do you think outside of?
You think outside the box.
Well, I think outside the square.
Do you?
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing, mate. What's the difference between thinking outside the square?
Well, the square's just got a few extra edges. It becomes a box.
You're just looking at that circle out there where the Western Wanderers played here the other night.
What did you think last night? I must admit at the 30-metre mark, they had a 300 sign up there.
It threw me for a second, then I realised it was obviously
Tory Parker.
Yeah, Tory Parker.
Well, actually, when I wasn't listening to the commentary and I saw it, I said, look at this dope. I mean, this idiot who's done the ground there has put an extra 0 on the line. I mean, if you weren't listening to commentary, you wouldn't have known, would you?
Yeah.
Are you with me there? I thought, this bloke, stupid. Surely someone's...
And he's done it at both ends of the field.
What an idiot. Well, anyway.
He's run a fair way. Over the 300-metre line, here they come. Piggy, what happened with Jared Hayne? He's surrounded by security guards. No joy?
No, I went over to him. I said, Hainesy, come on. And about 6 security guards just jumped at me and said no, he had to go somewhere else. And
Oh, he's a 49er now.
Yeah, well, he pretty much brushed me.
Well, let's hope he doesn't make it now. Changed my mind on him.
You think he'd owe me some after all those tries I put him in for over the years?
Yeah, right. Can you name them?
No.
We got some fireworks down there, Piggy.
Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? But it's not that dark yet, so...
Where are they? I can't see them. I can hear them.
They're above you.
Are you criticising Parramatta for letting off fireworks when it's not dark?
Well, look, it's still the warm-up. Why wouldn't they let them out when they run out on the field?
Oh,
it's a bit early.
Look at it. The Eels fireworks, spectacular. Magnificent.
They've gone off early.
You know a bit about that, Piggy. I'd say.
Yeah. Come on. It's only the first day.
They forgot to tell him the game was kicking off at 7:58, at 7:45.
On that note, we'll take a break and come back with more of the Continuous Call.
The Continuous Call team on 2GB is thanks to Holden, Coles Supermarkets, the Daily and Sunday Telegraph, IMB, Accor Hotels and Blackwoods.
Well, there's a sense of anticipation as we launch into the first game of the Continuous Call team in season 2015. The Parramatta Eels taking on the Manly Sea Eagles. Both sides still out on Pertex Stadium going through their warm-ups. And I must say, Big Man, there is a predominant sea of blue and gold. Not too many Manly fans have made the trip over for the Northern Beaches, but wonderful to see all the supporters with their flags decked out in their team colours and their jerseys, and let's hope this game lives up to all expectations.
Yeah, I think it will, Mark. I do think it will. I think both sides have got a lot to prove here tonight. Manly, as I said before, they certainly haven't had a perfect lead up to this. On the park, they might have had a reasonable lead up. They have got 4 decent players out of this side, and Steve Maddai, Jamie Bureau, I said before, they'd all be in this side if they're available. Josh Starling and also George Tafua, and all the off-field stuff that's been going on for about the last month or so. Every man and his dog wants to tell you that the 5'8" Corin Foran's already signed at Parramatta. Whether that's the case or not, I don't know. And we've seen Daly Cherry Evans being chopped about to, well, at the moment it looks like there's 2 contenders, the Gold Coast and the Sharks. So we'll have to wait and see. I mean, I heard David Riccio on your show. I think he said today that they were going to make a decision tomorrow. Daly Cherry Evans going to make an announcement. So, from a personal perspective, because I'm a Sharks fan, I hope he goes to the Sharks. We'll have to wait and see. But this should be a great game of footy. They're both fantastic players. But I just think, and I know I've said this before, the Manly pack, year after year, for some reason, seems to be getting weaker. Now, if you're a Manly fan, I suppose you take offence to that. I know they've bought Willie Mason and Felipe Mateo, but bit by bit, they're just losing good players. They've lost Glenn Stewart in the off-season. Anthony Watmo's gone. There's probably others who have left as well. They're not as strong as they were. They're going to have to work very hard tonight. If they can get on an even terms, maybe their backs will do the rest for them. I don't know, but... there's a few... Well, I suppose there's some question marks over the Parramatta back line as well. Bo Champion and Brad Takarangi in the centres. That's unusual. I will say this. Chris Sando looks as fit as I've ever seen him look. He looks tremendous out there. I know he's had I think it was an ankle problem, and he's under a bit of a cloud for this game, but he's out there. He's going to play. I think they can win. I think Parramatta.
Now, Mark Riddell, as we go back down to you, mate, look, geez, it's loud down there, Piggy, before I turn you on, mate. I just wanted to get your thoughts before we take one last break before this game kicks off. The Manly Sea Eagles are saying the distractions of, well, is it a distraction? Daly Cherry Evans and Kieran Foran, where they're going to be in 12 months' time. From a player's perspective, being in a squad, preparing for a game when you pick up the paper and every headline revolves around your 2 playmakers, surely it does have some impact on your football team.
Look, it certainly does. Look, and the players that are going through that at the moment, of course they're going to come out and say it's not affecting us and, we're not thinking about it. I'll guarantee you 100% they're all thinking about it. They're all talking about it in the dressing room, after training, before training, when they're having lunch, when they're having coffees. It'll be the topic of conversation, and it does. And it goes through the team, it goes through the club, and it's a very tough position for the Manly club to be in at this moment.
All right, I asked Darryl how your off-season was. How was yours? You're looking fit, as I mentioned in that show prior to the news and the network stations joining us. You're looking well.
Well, I wouldn't say I'm looking fit. I didn't do too much over the summer. I did do that Ironman, but I haven't done anything since then. So
the Ironman?
How'd you pull up from that, Piggy?
Very sore, Darryl.
Yeah.
And I lost, and this is probably a topic for the weekend, but I lost both my big toe nails from running the half marathon at the end.
Why did you only lose them?
Because it was my shoes, my toes hitting the ends of my shoes. I was just doing it for that long.
That sounds
21
disgusting.
No shoes for you, Piggy.
They fell off. They're back now, though.
Oh, dear, oh, dear. I'll tell you what I want you to do too, Darryl, on Sunday when you're in the studio with the chairman, Ray Hadley and Bob Fulton. Can you do me a favour and ask Piggy Riddell? He's getting rid of his caravan down the south coast and he's upgraded Now, I just want you to think about this, and you can bring it up on Sunday.
Sure.
He's upgraded to a caravan with a dishwasher.
I've never heard of a caravan with a dishwasher.
How many people...
Why don't you buy a home, house?
My two questions. How many people does it sleep, and how many dishes do you plan on washing? It's a caravan on the south coast of New South Wales, Piggy. You can't have a comment. You can have your right of reply on Sunday when you're in the studio with the chairman, Bob Fulton, and, of course, Darryl Brohman. The Parramatta Eels have made their way into the dressing room, so we're not too far away from kick-off. The Manly Sea Eagles are out on Pertex Stadium as well. A couple of emails before we take one last break. Liam writes from Hunters Hill. G'day, fellas. My dad's listening in from back in Quambone. He wanted to say g'day to Bozo up the Sea Eagles. Thank you, Liam, and good luck to your dad who's listening in Quambone. Beautiful part of the world. I've been up there for a bit of quality time, and, of course, Adam Reynolds' dad, Mark, is listening to the program as well. He had a blinder last night, Adam Reynolds. Mark, you should be a very proud father. He loves the continuous call team. All right, Manly making their way into the dressing rooms. We'll take one last break, and when we come back, David Morrow to swing into action and bring you all of the colour and excitement, the action between Manly and Parramatta from Pertex Stadium.
The continuous call team on 2GB is thanks to Holden, Coles Supermarkets, Lowe's, Harvey Norman, Bet Easy, Paddy's Markets and AAMI.
And welcome back to Parramatta Stadium, and already certainly the northern end is starting to fill up. That's the end closest to the Lees Club, the southern end closest to the swimming pool. Not quite so many people down at that end of the pool. And we've just received a little photo. I noticed that the Anthony Watmo actually received his Parramatta Guernsey from one of the all-time greats, Peter Sterling.
Absolutely. Well, Peter Sterling is. You talk Parramatta. Well, Peter Sterling is a legend here, isn't he? What a wonderful player he was for them, and he's there. And mate, they're just having a little conversation prior to the game when he delivered the jumper. It's a tough time for Watmo. He's played a lot of football. He's a life member of Manly. No one ever thought he'd leave the club. Well, he's left the club. He signed, I think, a 4-year deal here. There'll be big things expected of him tonight, and I don't think there'll be anyone more nervous than him in this stadium tonight.
Still, I probably said something to him about...
don't stuff it up.
Probably. And he said, just remember, there's a real dislike for Manly in this club.
I'm sure Anthony Watmo would be aware of that.
It's a great start. A great start to the season, because there's a lot been written and said about it, and we will be seeing the two teams make their way out onto the park very shortly. And of course, we will be having a minute's silence for the passing of Terry Fernley, who was, I think it's fair to say, I'd describe Terry Fernley as the gentleman coach.
Yeah, I've met Terry a few times, and he coached around when I was playing, David, and he was clearly a very good coach. He coached New South Wales to the historic victory in 1985, the first series they ever won against Queensland in State of Origin football, and he'll never forget that, with Steve Mortimer kissing the ground, etc., and all the pandemonium that took place then. But he was also, from all reports, a lovely bloke. As I said, I didn't know him very well, but everyone had a great deal of respect for him. In saying that, I think he did coach an Australian side. Remember they dropped the 4 Queenslanders once?
He coached the Australian side in 85 and dropped the 4 Queenslanders for the third.
It ended up a bit of drama there.
Well, there was a lot of drama because, coming to 86, the Kangaroo Tour, there was still some animosity, and Don Ferner became the coach, and there was trying to blend that side together. Pretty easy, really. Sterling at half and Lewis at 5'8", and those two did the rest. But there was a few fences to mend, but Terry went back a long way. He played with Jack Gibson during their careers. They were the props together during
he played 139 matches. He was a pretty good player.
When 139 matches was a lot of matches.
Absolutely.
Too.
There was no interchange in those days.
And he also coached Parramatta, of course, during the years when they first made it into the grand final, 76 and 77, when, of course, they made the 2 grand finals, a 9-all draw, and then got beaten by the Dragons in the replay. But he was, he was highly respected as a player, highly respected as administrator, and Darryl, as you said, as a coach, well, you can't do much more than coach your club, coach your state to win State of Origin, and coach your country.
It's pretty good, isn't it? It's a great record, and it's a sad day. And I know I think he's the uncle of Kurt Fernley, is that correct? Yeah. The great wheelchair athlete. I've met Kurt Fernley. I interviewed him once at a function. What an impressive young bloke he is.
Oh, what an inspiration.
On another note, but what an impressive bloke he is. Some of the stories he tells are just unbelievable.
He said the other day, he said Uncle Terry was an incredible inspiration. Well, I don't know, Kurt, you're probably the greatest inspiration I think anyone's ever known. To think that what Fernley did when he actually went on the Kokoda trail on his stumps and he's
crawled his way through it. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
It is unbelievable. Anyway, we're going to have a minute's silence for Terry Fernley in just a moment, who passed away during the week at the age of 81. And Jamie Lyon, of course, we forget that Jamie Lyon played here for a while and had a rather inauspicious exit before making his way across the bridge to play for Manly. And he's led the side out. And here they come. Timmy Manor leads out the Parramatta Eels for the opening match of this season here at home.
And you can see, look at the Parramatta flags waving. I reckon it's about 80, probably more than 80-20. I reckon it's about a 90 to 10 percentage here. I reckon there's 90% Parramatta Eels supporters here. And at the end of it, they're just about to kick off here. Obviously, we're going to have a minute's silence for Terry Fernley. The ground is still not full. I mean, as you said, down the southern end, particularly behind the goalpost, that would only be half full. And there's little vacancies around the place, but I'm sure that'll fill up as the night moves on. So hopefully the fans, if you're nearby, get here now. This should be a fantastic game of football.
18,000, I reckon, at the moment. Maybe not quite that many, but... And...
you can hear the lull in the crowd now. I think they're aware there's going to be...
Coach in 1976, they led the Eels to their first ever top grade final, edged out by Manly 13-10 on the day. Terry laid the platform for the Eels' most successful era that would see them make 7 grand finals, win 4 premierships in the space of 10 years. He was responsible for bringing a number of great players to the club, including Peter Sterling and Michael Cronin. Terry was one of rugby league's great tacticians and innovators, but was also one of rugby league's great gentlemen. The thoughts of the board, staff and players of the Parramatta Eels are with the family, friends and colleagues of the great Terry Fernley.
Yeah, even though we've got to take the minute's silence here, we need to speak because if we stop talking, there's some alarms go off here.
So that's what
we've got to do. Exactly the same, Dave. We're not being disrespectful, but this is something you've just got to do, unfortunately, in the radio world. So everyone here, arms folded, heads bowed, paying their respects for the fantastic man in Terry Fernley, who passed away this week at the age of 8.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Here's another one of the ground announcers that doesn't need a microphone.
Oh, there's a few of them. Don't worry about that, champion.
I know that. Anyway, Manly's going to kick off. And it's going to be young Gutherson who's going to get us underway here as far as the NRL is concerned in Sydney in season 2015. Stay behind. Parramatta defending the Leagues Club end of the first half. The northern end as Gutherson gets us away. And the ball goes deep down inside Parramatta's territory and it's immediately fed off. And Manor brings it out after it was initially taken by Norman. It'll be interesting to see how he goes in his second season here. Pete's at dummy half. He looks for a runner, and Lussick, another playing against his old club. There's a few rivalries out there of players playing against their former club as they drift across field. Here's Moaroa going for his first gallop of the year. He's out towards his own 30, almost in centre field. Almost in the centre of the park, and Matt Check, and you'll hear his voice quite a lot tonight. He's the lead referee, and we're going to have a slight difference in refereeing this year where the lead referee will predominantly referee the match and the little pocket referee you won't be heard of much at all. Well, we hope not. Here comes Parramatta as the ball's gone loose and knocked backward. No, knocked forward, says referee Check, and as the tackle was affected, and bringing it up was Lussick, and he was basically taken in a solid tackle. And in doing so, he's lost the ball forward into a Manly player, then went back towards Parramatta, who were hoping to get the benefit and play on. But the referee, the pocket referee, caught that. Henry Perry. Oh, no.
There's a bit of, I'll tell you what, there's a bit of vision on the screen here of a Manly player. I'm just having a look. And he's one of the nicest blokes you've ever beat, Matt Bell. It did look like an eye gouge, didn't it? Looked like an eye gouge from here. And you can hear the fans in the back blowing up about it. Now, I'm sure we're going to hear a bit more about it. But Matt Bell, most uncharacteristic. I'd like to see it again, but the vision didn't look good.
Last bloke in the world that I'd ever think would be involved in something like that. Anyway, we'll get another look at that though. But tell you what, Manly are going to go on the attack here. As bringing it up as Mason, and Mason, oh look at that, a wall of Eels come up and smash him in his first run for his new club. He's 30 metres out. Simons runs to the line, offloads to Stewart. Stewart gets it out wide. The ball comes through the hands to Gutherson. Gutherson claps on the accelerator. Great tackle from Sando, puts him down 19 metres out. Ball is played, it goes to Stewart. Away it goes through the hands, it goes to Foran. Foran then to Ballon, and Ballon's taken in a great tackle. About 11 metres out on the goalpost, they're on the tackle. Norman made the tackle. A quick play the ball. Gee, they almost blew it. Louis has flown in there to save the day for Manly. He's only 12 metres out. Last tackle. They go back to the right. Foran goes away then to Cherry Evans. He puts a grubber kick in that should be cleaned up and is cleaned up over there by Hopawate. And they'll play the ball for the Parramatta side about a metre into the field of play.
Well, gee, that was a good set there from Manly. A lot of set plays there for Letty Mateo. We all know what sort of skill this bloke possesses. I understand he hasn't done a lot of training in the off-season as a penalty. Goes here to the Parramatta Eels. That'll help them get out of their territory there. But, geez, they look good with ball in hand there. Cliff Gutherson went through a gap, and it was little Chrissy Sando coming across. He made a tackle that needed to be made. He did it, and they did defend it okay there, the Parramatta Eels, but they did look sharp when they had the ball, Manly.
I think that all came on the back of the mistake made by Darcy Lussick.
Yeah, it certainly did. Look, it's not what you want from your first set of 6 for the Parramatta Eels. They get the penalty. They're able to work the ball off their own line.
Parramatta work it back within 8 of the halfway line as they work back to the centre of the park, and here's Lussick again. He runs into some solid defence. The 2 props, Lawrence and Mason, are there, and Louis was in there assist as well. Over the halfway comes Manor, and Manor strides forward. That's a good run from him. He's taking the ball to within 42 metres of the line. He plays it to Peach. Peach goes back to the left to Norman. Norman holds it up and almost went through a hole. Just started to open up, and then they gave him the hole and went crash bang wallop, and he's tackled 35 metres out now from the line at the southern end of the field. Watmo goes for a run. He's tackled 28 metres out from Manly's goal line, almost in centre field. Last play, 0-all the score line. Up goes a kick from Sandow. The pressure's coming through. Chase Blair goes high. Chase Blair takes it superbly and has tackled a metre inside the field of play. And 3 Parramatta players there to put pressure on the former Parramatta Eel left winger for Manly.
Geez, they're moving up solidly defensively here, the Parramatta Eels. They're trying to keep Manly deep in their territory. It was a nice take from Chase Blair. Of course, he was a former Parramatta player, discarded a couple of years ago, found a home at Manly, had a reasonable year last year. Here's Brett Stewart with a nice run, trying to get to the 20-metre line.
He saw a little hole for a moment, and I tell you what, it almost opened up for him, and you know what he's like if he gets into a hole. Simon's out wide, goes to Cherry Evans over on that eastern side of the field, the right side, and a loose ball is picked up on the bounce by Stewart as they tried to keep it alive, Manly. They got to the centre of their own 30. They'll play the ball to Ballon. They come back to the left, and they take it ahead so boldly down the centre through Louis, and he's got to the centre of the centre circle. Well, that's almost the centre of the halfway line here. Ball comes away to Foran, and Foran just chips a little kick downfield. It won't find anything worthwhile from a Manly perspective. Hopawade beautifully positioned, and he's going to play it 22 metres out from his own line and 10 in from touch on this western side of the field. Well, he's only had 2 things to do so far, Hopawade, and both of them have seen him in perfect position to do what he's had to do.
Yeah, absolutely, Dave. We've only had 5 minutes of play, but it's been a cracking start from both sides. Both sides prepared to throw the ball about, both sides playing the ball quickly. Here's Radradra getting in there, doing the work of some of the forwards, taking it forward. But this has started at 100 miles an hour, this game. Nathan Pete's up the middle of the ruck.
And he's tackled 20 metres in from touch on the western side, 40 metres out. Last play, Sandow, little grubber for touch, you'll find it, about 8 metres out from the corner post, so the scrum will go down. First scrum of the season here in Sydney. 10 out from Manly's line, 20 in from the western side of the field. And have a look at tell you what, Darryl and Mark, there's a lot of forwards already having a breather as they go towards this scrum.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there's a few. Well, it started a cracking pace, Dave. I said before, you can see both sides. Matt Bellin, who's one of the fittest blokes in the game, he's the last back there to the scrum. We're seeing the big number 10 there for Manly. Brenton Lawrence not struggling to get back there, but this is something about the game that annoys me. I don't know whether it annoys you or not. They get to the scrum. Now, nothing is happening here. They're just standing around, sucking in the big ones. The referee now has to tell them to pack. This has probably taken, I reckon, from the time that ball found touch to the time it's fed, 45 seconds. It's too long.
It's not good enough, is it?
I don't think it is, mate. People come to watch a game. They either call time off, let them hang around for a minute or whatever they want, or they make them pack it quicker.
Well, the one thing, Mark, I think I saw every forward cheer when Sandow kicked that into touch.
Yeah.
Penalty against Parramatta offside.
Yeah, Parramatta, they're giving away the penalty. And when I was playing, I loved those scrums. You get a great opportunity to suck the big ones in, especially early on in the season. A lot of boys with hands on hips. Just quickly, I just want to mention Nathan Pete's coming back from, obviously, that bad knee injury last season. Just himself and Isaac DeGoyce tonight. I think they're going to have a big role to play tonight as we see an error from the Manly side. And Chocky, well, now he's got the ball, Dave.
And the ball, Lawrence came up and he was hit by Darcy Lussick with a real shirt front type tackle. The ball's come loose and here they go. The Parramatta Eels on the attack. as a result of what was a very, very solid hit. And here's Lussick again. Gee, he wants to get down and dirty, doesn't he?
He's been the best player on the field in the opening 7 or 8 minutes. He's been heavily involved.
Peach goes back to the left and it goes away to Norman. He holds the ball up. He quickly sends it away to the right side. Takarangi. On it goes to Redrada. Redrada runs over the top of 2 like a semi-trailer and scores the opening try. 4-0. How easy was that?
That was too easy, wasn't it, Dave? Absolutely simple. Which came from a mistake by the big front rower, Brenton Lawrence. He took the ball up. He got absolutely smashed by Darcy Lussick within about 2 or 3 tackles. They realised they just went for the blind side. They saw there was a bit of a gap there. Great work from Takarangi in the centres. He got the ball, stood up his opposing centre. I think it might have been Gutherson, but I'm not sure. I need to have a look at that again. Stood him up, gave the ball to Semi-Radradra. Oh, look, no one's going to stop him when he's coming at speed from about 5 metres out, and he just went straight over his winger there, Peter Hick, who scored in the corner. That's a great start for the Parramatta Eels.
I think it was Jamie Lyon over there, wasn't it, Mark?
Yeah, I think it was.
Jamie Lyon, yeah. I've just got to say, guys, I think the difference so far between the two sides that I've noticed is the aggression and their line speed in the Parramatta defence. They've forced the error there, and they've been able to make that Manly side pay. And I think Chocky Watman, he's had a bit to do with it. He's very aggressive off the line, and that time the Parramatta side, they've made that Manly team pay.
Looks a bit bigger too, Watman. I'm just having a look at him here. I mean, I suppose at 32 years of age or something like that. I don't suppose he's got any bigger, but he just looks a tad bigger in this very big back row that they've got here, the Parramatta Eels. But he's a good player, Watmo. I mean, when he's keen and fit, he's a very, very good player.
Well, you haven't played for Australia because he can't play.
Yeah, no, exactly. He's a... Well, I don't know if I call him a great player, but he's a very, very good player, Watmo. Reece Robinson got the kicking duties here.
Yeah, and I don't think he's had much to do in the game so far, but this is a kick from right out on the eastern touchline, 23 metres out. He's been playing on the right wing, and except for the chase downfield when Chase Blair took that good catch early on. Robinson, can he convert the try scored by the winger on the other side of the field? Radradra looks good off the boot. The crowd behind it, they went straight up as one, and Parramatta lead by 6 points to 0 on the low scoreboard.
That's a fantastic kick from Reece Robinson. Really, you couldn't get a more difficult kick. He hit it. You could just see the camera panned at his face. You knew from the moment he hit it that he was confident the ball was going to go through the big sticks, and it did. Great start for the Eels. In fact, I think Reece Robinson, the last time they played, may have kicked 6 from 6 or something like that in one of the trials. That's the reason he's got the job. Great start for the Eels here.
Nothing like the home team getting the early start too, though, because that really gets the crowd involved. And let's see what happens here as the try scorer gets the ball and immediately brings it back for Parramatta Radradra. He'll play it 20 out from his own goal line, back to the centre of the park. They drift across field, Parramatta. The Manly forwards come up as a group of 3 to put Parramatta down. About 20 metres out in the goal line. Here he comes again, Lussick, and flying out of the line. A very strong hit here from Mateo. Ball's gone loose. The referee said play on, so Lussick might have forced the error at one end of the field. Well, he's now lost the ball for the second time in the match, and now because Parramatta didn't allow the Manly side after they'd fallen on the loose ball, Mateo, after forcing the error, fell on the loose ball, wasn't allowed to get up and play it. Penalty goes against Parramatta. Manly get a great chance here to hit straight back from 25 metres out.
Absolutely, and it was Lussick who tried to push the ball then. I mean, he's had a wonderful start to the game. He had 3 Manly players hanging off, and he tried to flick a ball out the back, lost it. This gives Manly great attacking position.
Ball goes across field. Brilliant half volley by Lyon, and Lyon runs to the line. It's the 10-metre line, about 5 metres out from the goal line. Over on that far side, the eastern side of the field, Stewart's in at dummy half. He gets the ball to Simon. Simon's in turn away to Cherry Evans. Cherry Evans takes it into the hit line. He's tackled about. Oh, now he threw a ball out the back. Foran wasn't looking initially, but he managed to recover quickly enough to pick up a loose ball. Foran was appealing to the referee, and at the same time, Cherry Evans threw a ball out the back door, and Foran almost conceded possession by not watching the football. Cherry Evans gets to the line. Lovely pass to Mason. Mason's almost through. He's tackled a metre or so out on the goal line. They come to the left. A cut-out ball should go to Blair. Chase Blair picks it up. Ford! Oh, the crowd stand as well and give the linesman a standing ovation.
Oh, deserved to try, you know. Deserved to try. The run from Mason was brilliant. To play the ball even better. Got straight to his feet, played it quickly. The Parramatta defensive line was still going backwards when he played the ball. The pass here from Foran, I think they got it right. I think it might have gone forward, but there wasn't much in it.
There's even a suggestion there may have been a Parramatta fingernail on it too, which of course might have nullified it. But I think the right decision there, Mark Riddell, but it did deserve a try to chase Blair.
Yeah, well, it looked all too easy from Kieran Foran. It looked a beautiful pass from down here on ground level, but from seeing the replays, I'm happy to go with the call. I think the referee's got that one right.
All right, fellas, once again, wait for the go call. All the way in, Brett. All the way in, stay there. Ball in.
So Henry Perenara giving the instructions there for a moment. The man has spent a bit of time here at Parramatta as a player.
Absolutely. I've got to say, and I know there's a bit of discussion about the pink referees wearing pink. I like the look of what they're wearing here tonight. They've got it's like a tangerine and a grey. There's a mistake.
Moa knocked it on as cold as you like, and Willie Mason picks it up. So can they have another crack here? They're going to go back to the right. The ball goes away. Manly on the attack on the back of the Moa era. 10 metres out. Make it 5 metres out on the goalpost. Right in the centre of the field. Ballon comes back to the left. It goes to Foran. Cut out ball to Stewart. And Stewart got a pass away. Robinson went for the intercept. I thought he knocked it on. Took a while for the referee to pick it up. But I suppose he had to wait to see whether Robinson was going to regather the ball after he'd knocked it down. Because if he didn't, he could have easily let play go on and 6 to go. Robinson takes it, it's a try. If he misses it, it's a try to chase Blair.
Absolutely, there's no doubt about that. There was some good passing. Once again, Manly look okay with ball in hand. They just can't finish off Parramatta here at the moment. That was, well, I think it was a 3-on-2 then, and Robinson read it beautifully. If he would have taken it, he would have scored, Robinson, but he did the next best thing. He knocked it down because absolutely no doubt Chase Blair catches that, he scores. Been a bit unlucky here, Chase Blair. He's had one try disallowed, and he's a fingertip away from scoring his first try as well. So he's had 2 chances, both nullified.
Simons takes the ball ahead for Manly. 10 metres out in the goalpost at the Leeds Club end of the ground. It's 6-0 on the low scoreboard in favour of Parramatta. A long cut-out pass goes to Mateo. He keeps it alive. It's a bad pass that Gutherson can't handle. It goes between his legs. He didn't touch it with his hands, so he didn't knock it on. He regathered the ball. Some of the Parramatta players were asking for a knock on here. And in fact, Gutherson, I think, is hurt too, because Sandow and Robinson immediately asked the touch judge for a bit of assistance.
Yeah, he's sort of holding his leg here. He's calling for the assistance of one of the trainers out there. It might be his knee, actually. His right knee he's holding here at the moment. So hopefully he's okay, because he's a quality young kid, this Clint Gutherson. I think he's normally a fullback, but this doesn't look good for him. He's got up. The trainer's got him to his feet. He is limping badly. He's in a bit of trouble here.
Well, just the reaction from the players. I'm not sure whether Mark saw something down on the side. It's not far from him, but the two Parramatta players, were very concerned straight away.
Yeah, they certainly were. Look, straight away, he just didn't move once he fell to the ground. He clutched at that right knee, as Darryl mentioned. He's trying to stretch it out, but he's no good. The trainers are carrying him off. I thought straight away that it looked pretty serious for the young centre. He's grimacing as we speak as he walked past me. It's not a good sign, and not what you want to see in the first round of the competition.
That's terrible. He's going to be replaced. Blake Leary's going on there now. I don't know much about Blake Leary. I don't know whether you do, David, or you do, Piggy, at all. But gee, you lose a centre, it makes it difficult. I imagine Tom Simons would have to fill in there.
That's exactly what's happened. Tommy Simons has now gone to left centre.
Yeah.
So they've got no Matai, and now the person who replaced Matai is also out of the game, it seems. Here they go, though, Manly. They've still got the ball because the man who was injured, Gutherson, tackled 12 metres out. Now they've got it 12 out from the goalpost, right in the centre of the field. They switched the play from one side to the other. They went to the right, then to the left, then it goes through the hands. It comes to Cherry Evans. Cherry Evans looks for a runner. It looks like Leary's got a touch early on. He's going to be playing the ball about 16 or 17 metres out on the goal line. They go back to the right, goes to Cherry Evans, grubber kick, and Radradra picks it up, and Radradra, he's away. He's over the 20. He's out to the 30. He's knocked off balance, but he's now trying to link up with the left side of the field. He's got back to the 40. He's got back to within 9 metres of the halfway. Good grubber kick. Even better, the return. I'll tell you what, Jared Hayne would love to do that in his first ever run in an NFL game.
Absolutely. It was a great run. They've drawn the penalty here too, Parramatta, but the grubber kick was a good kick there from the halfback, Cherry Evans, but Radradra picked it up on the fly almost, and he just went straight through the meat of the Manly defence there, and he ran past 4 or 5 of them. They're falling over like 10 pins. A few of them had a crack at him. He pushed off Brett Stewart, beat a couple of others. Great run from Radradra. Penalty here to the Eels. They're going to be in great field position once he finds touch here. Chris Sandow.
Mateo, I think, the transgressor too. giving the penalty away. So Ian Lussick going go for go as far as a couple of errors are concerned. But, gee, they both had decent goes for their respective sides when they've had the ball. Here comes Morrow trying to make up for his error a moment ago. He's tackled about 19 metres out from the goalpost at the southern end of the field, 20 metres in from touch. The low scoreboard reads Parramatta 6, Manly 0, and we've had about 16 minutes of play, 11 metres out now. What's happened here? Someone's in the blood.
The ball, you've got blood. Give someone off the ball.
Lussick, is it?
Yeah, it's Darcy Lussick there.
He gets cut a bit, doesn't he? Well, I suppose he does. He does mix it up.
Mate, I suppose.
Come back. Manly, come back.
Just don't know. It's over his just over his right eye. He will be all right. I'll just put a bit of Vaseline on that. He'll be back in the play within seconds.
So let's see what they do, Parramatta, as they go down the centre through Manor. Look at those legs chugging away as if he was driving a big truck. He's about 8 metres out. Ball comes to Peets. Away it goes through the hands of Norman. It goes quickly away to Sandow. He stopped for a moment. Hopewadi throws a dummy, sucks in Stewart, and all of a sudden Parramatta on the low scoreboard are leading 10 points to 0. Gee.
Here you go, David. Describe that.
He was just, the ball was loose, but Hopewadi read it to perfection. And he conned Brett Stewart. Stewart went to the winger and left a gap as big as the Sydney hedge for Hopewadi to bring up double figures for his side.
Yeah, don't underestimate the impact that Chris Sandow had in that try. Brilliant work from Sandow. He got the ball. He was forced back on the inside. He beat a couple of Manly defenders on the inside. Then he just drifted back to the outside through a beautifully timed pass to Hopewadi. It was a 2-on-1 Parramatta. He had the opportunity there, Hopewadi, of either throwing the dummy and having a crack. He just threw the dummy. Momentum would have got him over anyway. That's a brilliant start for the Parramatta Eels. Hopewadi in for a try after only how many minutes? We've only had 16 and a half minutes of play here. They're in for their second here, Parramatta, and they look sharp.
And Mark Riddell, the big thing is that Parramatta only been down there a couple of times. They'll lead 10-0, man. They've had a couple of opportunities and haven't been able to come up with the goods.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Parramatta will take a lot out of the fact that they kept Manly scoreless when they had so much ball down the other end. What impressed me about that last try was the fact that Corey Norman, Chris Sandow and Hopewadi were all on that same side of the field, all involved in that one play. Too often we see the halves split and you don't see them working together enough. I thought it was a brilliant try from the Parramatta side.
Robinson 5 metres in from the western touchline, 25 metres out, kicking towards those goalposts, the swimming pool end here at Parramatta Stadium, the southern end. Opportunity to make it 12-0. Great start for Parramatta. Right behind it we are. There's the kick. It's going across the face of the goalpost. And that's where it's going to continue on. It just continues on with the same trajectory. He misses the kick, but Parramatta on the low scoreboard, almost 18 minutes gone at Parramatta Stadium, leading 10 points to 0.
Yeah, they look lethal tonight. They're hungry, aren't they? They are playing well. Their forwards are doing a great job, and they're capitalising on the mistakes of Manly. Daly Cherry Evans, when he put that little grubber kick through, originally I thought it was a really good kick, but it was brilliantly picked up by Radradra, who made the ball, ran about 50 metres, got to halfway, they got a penalty, and once again, they score from the ill discipline of Manly. But dear me, they Manly to me look to be struggling at the moment. They need to be the next side to score, else this could be a cricket score.
Radradra probably ran about 80 metres because he ran from the corner and he was tackled over here about 20 metres into touch. He ran about 40 metres across field and 40 odd metres downfield. Here they come again. Lussick with his head all bandies up after that cut, runs it about 21 metres out from his own line. Peets from dummy half, goes back to the left, and they run it up strongly, and taking it up over there is Ma'u, and Ma'u has lost the ball, and yet again they've made all their mistakes, Parramatta, in much the same pocket of the field.
Yeah, but Manly haven't been able to capitalise on it, have they, really? It's just been probably the last-minute desperate defence. Refereeing decision has cost Manly badly. A forward pass they ruled that was thrown, I think, from 4 into Blair. Other than that, they've lost the ball now here, but they've called this a strip. So here's a penalty right in front, and about 20 out.
Was Lussick involved in that again? I think he was in the tackle.
He's had a pretty... Look, there's got some mistakes in him, but I'll tell you what, he's willing. He's having a dig out there.
So they're going to take the tap here, the Manly side, and they bring it up. And Luke Burgess has gone out for his first gallop by looks of things. Yep.
Come on, keep coming.
And he's tackled 15 metres out on the goalpost as they go across field. And Ballon, he looks for a runner. He's coming back down the centre of the park as Foran. Foran's tackled 12 metres out from the goalpost at the Lees Club end of the field at Parramatta Stadium. The Eels lead 10-0 on the low scoreboard as Luke Burgess takes it ahead. He's tackled about 6 or 7 metres out. They'll keep it going to the centre of the field. Here comes Louis. Louis hard onto the ball. Good tackle couple of 3 Eels in there, and one of them was Watmo. Morrow was another. Peach was another. Ball comes to the left side. It goes then to Cherry Evans. Away. Inside ball to Stewart. A lovely bit of football. 4 and inside to Snake. And Stewart scores Manly's first try. 11 metres in from touch on this western side of the field. But they're going upstairs to check.
I think the grounding's the issue.
Please confirm grounding. Thank you.
I think grounding is the issue here. I thought Stewart looked, for all intents and purposes, he was going to score. Look, he's probably got this down. He eventually does lose control of it. I've got no doubt about this. The ball bobbled at some stage, but whether he got it down first or not, let's have a look at this. Yeah, that's okay. That's a try. It's a great try. The referee couldn't see that. It was a good attempt from the fullback there, Hopewadi, trying to stop him. See, and that comes from just silly mistakes. A silly mistake gave Manly the opportunity, and they're a potent attacking side. We all know that. That's a try.
Manly's first try of the year. No surprise. Kieran Foran back on the inside to Brett Stewart. And that was just neat work from 2 class footballers. And their coach killers marked. It's simple mistake, turnover, try.
Yeah, it certainly was. And that'd be very disappointing for Brad Arthur. The fact that they've invited this Manly side back in the game. I tell you what, I think this Parramatta side, they've got to do something with their right edge defence. Too often tonight, there's been a fair few opportunities down this edge. Manly, they seem to be stripping the numbers on this Parramatta side, and then they're coming round on the same side and doubling up on their play again. Foran, he looks too sharp for this Parramatta side. They've got to rectify it.
So Jamie Lyon, he still gets boos out here, doesn't he?
No, they boo a Santa Claus here.
15 metres in or thereabouts, 19 metres out. Line moves in. It looked pretty good up the boot. It's as true as it can be. And on the low scoreboard, the converted try for Manly means that Parramatta lead by just 4 midway through the first half. Parramatta 10, Manly 6.
I think Peggy hit on a really good point there. Every opportunity they've had so far, Manly, has been on the Manly left side, the Parramatta right side. Now, playing in the centres there is Bo Champion, who does look different as well here. You've got Bo Champion and also the winger Reece Robinson, who are struggling a little bit defensively here. Of course, we saw a forward pass to Chase Blair, try disallowed. We saw a tip down from Reece Robinson. He would have scored another try, Chase Blair, had he got the ball. And then on that occasion, it was just an inside ball from Kieran Foran. It was brilliantly worked out. Gave it to Brett Stewart. With his acceleration, he was always going to score.
So Parramatta kick off and deep inside the territory of Manly. Manly have to run the ball back, and they'll be pretty happy about that because it's the first time they've had to do it after a try. Manly work it out through Peter Hicku, who's tackled about 15 metres out from his own goal line, about 15 metres in from touch, as they work it back to the centre. And again, it's Louis who takes it up, and he's tackled around about 25 metres out from his own goal line, over towards the touchline on the eastern side, the Mick Cronin grandstand side of the field. And now another error, but this is going to be against Parramatta. Manly have dropped the ball, but the 2 markers weren't marking up correctly, says the referee, and one of them is deemed to have neither been the marker or back the 10.
I think he may have stripped the ball as well. It was the hooker Bellin who saw that they weren't marking up correctly. Now Bellin went to make a run, and I think Mo Aroa put his hand in there and knocked the ball out. It had to be a penalty. In fact, he's probably lucky to still be on the park. That's a professional foul there from Mo Aroa.
That's the sort of foul from a bloke that's getting tired.
Well, mate, it's been cracking pace. I'm surprised they haven't made too many changes. I mean, Manly have made a couple, but I don't know if Parramatta have made any as yet, have they?
Well, I don't think so. And the thing is, maybe they're thinking the second half there's going to be a lot of tired boys in the last 20 minutes. Conserve as much as they can at the moment. Anyway, here go Manji. That was a well picked up by Mason. That was a ball around his ankles, and he did wonderfully well to gather that up. It's not as if he's 19 anymore. That was brilliant. Ball comes out to the left. Here's Mateo. Throws a dummy. He goes on his own. He's taken a good tackle by Sandow. 12 metres out from Parramatta's line. 15 in from the western touch line. It's Parramatta leading on the low scoreboard by 10 points to 6. Taking it up again. It's Mateo, and I should say Louis, and they'll play the ball about 10 metres out. Away it goes then to Cherry Evans. A little double pump. It went to Hicku. Hicku can't handle it, and I think he got a little bit confused. I think he was expecting the ball the first time, and the double pump from Cherry Evans got his timing all mixed up, and then the pass wasn't true, and Corey Norman was across there to be involved, I think, and even Hopewadi might have added a little bit of confusion to what was happening over there, but
I think if he takes it cleanly, though, he's a chance of scoring. And it was, again, a really well-worked move. I mean, clearly these halves have been together for a long time. There's a lot of second-man plays. The ball was thrown on the outside. I mean, it would have had a bit of work to do. Radradra was zeroing in on him. As you said, Corey Norman was there as well. He put it down. This gives Parramatta a chance to get out of their own area. Brad Arthur will be desperate for him to get through a set of 6 here because the last few sets haven't been good.
Well, Junior Paulo's out there now. He's bringing the ball up. And he's tackled about 25 out from his own goal line as they go for a gallop out of dummy half as Hopawade takes a bit of pressure off his forwards. They've done a mountain of work, both forward packs have. Now Peets decides to go for a dash out of dummy half. Good sprint from him. Gets the ball down to within 45 metres of the Manly line as it goes to Sandow. Sandow puts the kick in. It's going to roll into the in-goal area. Will it go dead? Chase Blair's not going to take the odds to it. He gathers it up on the bounce, brings it back, and Sandow, with that characteristic of his, just hurling his body at the legs of the player. Nothing wrong with it. It's just one of his tackling styles, but it's effective.
Oh, he's a gutsy little bloke. He's only about 80 kilos, and he puts his body on the line. I've seen him do it time and time again. What a gutsy little bloke he is, Chris Sandow. Yeah, look, I'll tell you what, a fit Chris Sandow is a very good footballer.
Well, we haven't seen enough of him tonight yet, but not through any fault of his own. But I tell you what, if they start getting a bit tired, watch out. As they've got the ball now on the right side of the field, Manly, and they decide through Cherry Evans just to reef it downfield. This ball has plenty of oomph in it, but don't think it'll go dead. And so Hopawade has to go all the way back to his own in-goal area. He brings it back, and he runs it strongly at 4, and he'll play the ball. Ballum is up there as well. He'll play the ball 10 out from his own goal line as they bring the ball to the right to Robinson. And Robinson, gee, I'll tell you what, Manly are up there in numbers. They're keen to put some pressure on in defence in this set. And some of these Parramatta players are showing that it's a pretty tough game out there as they take their time to get back on side.
Well, it's a third tackle. They've only just got back there. We haven't seen a forward run the ball as yet. This is the 4th tackle. Robinson's taken another one here. That was a great kick from Cherry Evans and a great chase from the Manly side.
Ball comes away to Sandow. Sandow gets it away to the left side of the field. Corey Norman. Quickly the ball is fed across now to Takarangi. Takarangi gets a one-armer away then, but it was forward. And I'm not sure that Radradra could handle it anyway. It was basically down round his knees. But gee, I'll tell you what, they opened them up for a stride or two down that left flank. It's still 10 points to 6 on the low scoreboard in favour of Parramatta over Manly.
Yeah, both sides looking a bit dodgy on their right side, aren't they? Defensively, we saw Radradra just scream over and score the first try of the match down that left side for Parramatta, and we've seen the Manly Sea Eagles very, very dangerous on their left side as well. So both sides struggling to contain it. That was a poor pass there from Takarangi. He should have done better than that. Look, he's probably a back rower who's been manufactured into a centre. He probably lacks that metre of pace to be a real good quality centre, but I think he's a good player, Takarangi. I'm a bit surprised a few other clubs weren't chasing him when he left the Gold Coast.
Yeah, but in saying that, Mark Riddell, I'm not sure whether Jamie Lyons lost a yard of pace, but that's twice Takarangi's been able to get on the outside of it.
Yeah, well, that's the good thing that he's been able to do so far. He just skipped to the outside, and Jamie Lyon hasn't been able to keep up with him. So I'm sure they're going to, the referees, just play on with Manly. I'm sure they're going to keep attacking that side because Takarangi so far tonight has had the better line.
Crowd roaring for a forward pass, but the only two fellas that aren't concerned with the forward pass said no. Ball comes back to the centre of the field. Mateo up to the halfway line, and he'll play the ball about 49 metres out from Parramatta's goal line. He's 20 metres in from touch, right in front of the broadcast position. Here's Senny Lafayette, who's one of the replacements who's out there now for Manly. He'll play the ball 41 metres out, almost in centre field. Ballon goes back to the right. Cherry Evans, quick hands for and Lyon, and now Hicku on the right wing. Hicku tries to get around one. He gets around one, gets around two. He's still going, Peter Hicku. He puts the little grubber kick into the in-goal area, but it comes off feet. I think it came off a Parramatta foot. It did. It goes touch in goal. And I'm not sure where that ball would have finished up, but in the end, Parramatta have got out of trouble there because there were 3 players steaming down that right side in Manly jumpers, and that kick would have finished in the in-goal area. And with the errant, well, it may be deliberate boot from Parramatta, have saved themselves conceding a try.
Yeah, it was Radradra it came off. I don't know whether he had time to even think about it. I think the kick just happened to hit him in the knee and it went into touch. I think they were very lucky because Jamie Lyon was steaming through on the inside of Radradra there. Gee, there were some good hands. They're a beautiful side to watch. They're so well organised, the back line. They've got so many little second man moves here, the Manly Sea Eagles, and they've got the quality players to affect the moves. They're brilliant when they get ball in hand.
And now bringing the ball up is Leary, and he's hit, I should say Hassan, who's hit with a very strong tackle, 25 metres out, and they go from dummy half and some good defence here. This will be a penalty. There'll be a penalty for a tackle that's gone over the horizontal. It was more like a whirlwind. Ballon was on the end of the tackle. And
16 Parramatta. All right, boys.
it was Junior Paulo who affected the tackle. I think it looked a lot worse than being dangerous, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think so. He sort of flipped him over, didn't he? And it was... He did about a 180 really here, Matt Bellner. It looked worse than what I think it was. He got there, he got him. Oh no, it was dangerous.
No,
it actually was dangerous.
Having a look at it now. No, he's landed on his neck.
I take that back. It was a bad tackle. He got him. He absolutely monstered him, flipped him over, and he landed on his head.
Number
Matt
16.
Bellner.
Junior Paulo won't be playing next week, Mark.
No, it was. I was with you guys. I didn't see much in it early on, but watching the replays, I'm very happy to see him go and report. I think that's justified. It was a dangerous position, and Paulo was coming over the top as well, forcing Ballin's head into the ground. It didn't look good at all.
Garvey's going to get at least 3 weeks out of the game if they're going to really clamp down on shoulder charges and those type of tackles. He won't be playing next week. I'll get to the Clint Gutherson injury in just a moment as Manly get that penalty and go on the attack. They've got a great opportunity to go to the lead here on the low scoreboard. 20 metres out, taking it ahead forward. He put on the accelerator and he seemed to lose his footing momentarily as the ball comes back to the right. And now Burgess away then to Cherry Evans. Cherry Evans, short ball to Leary, and he's almost in. He's only a metre or so out from the line. Gee, that was a lovely little pass. Ball comes back to the left side again. Here they go. Grab a kick from Mateo. Simon's flying. Also getting back there was Reece Robinson. He beat Simons and Chase Blair to knock it over the dead ball line and save the day for Parramatta.
Geez, he did a good job then, Reece Robinson. The grubber kick from Mateo was pinpoint accurate. He had 2 outside backs. One of them, Tommy Simons, is only playing out there. He's a back rower playing out there because of the injury to Gutherson. But Chase Blair had the opportunity to steam onto that, but he did a great job, Reece Robinson. He had to stop, turn and chase, and he just got the fingertip onto it before Chase Blair got there. They're under enormous pressure here, the Eels. There's 9 minutes to go in this half of football. Can they hang on and lead at half-time? I'm not so sure.
Clint Gutherson's had pain-killing injection and was hoping to return, but the doctors have just ruled him out. He'll have scans on his right knee tomorrow. So that's bad news from Manly. I mean, they're down to a 16-man rotation. Oh, what a tackle! Senny Lafayette came up and Morrow mowed him down. I think he had a bit of help there from Joseph Paulo, but I'll tell you what, wasn't that a hit and a half?
Well, I think Senny Lafayette might learn. I think he made the error there of going up a little bit half-hearted. He looked like he was going to try and take him on, but I think he just put the brakes on a bit. Moa absolutely smashed him.
Quick hands by Manly. The ball finishes up on the bounce, but picking it up over there is Hiku, as they just tried to basically volleyball that out to the right-hand side of the field, and they almost found the space they wanted. Hiku plays it 18 metres out on the goal line, back to the centre. Here's Cherry Evans, little grubber kick, ball's into the in-goal area. They're going to have to do something quickly, and they do. Parramatta through. I think it was Champion who knocked it dead in the end. But again, pressure coming from Manly. Gee, how much longer can Parramatta survive this pressure? That's a couple of line dropouts, a penalty. They've had all the ball, haven't they, Manly? Sooner or later, you think they've got to convert this into points.
Well, you'd think so, but they're hanging on okay here, Parramatta. I mean, there are a couple of changes going on there. I see Isaac de Gois is on there. He'd obviously be on there for Nathan Peets. So Isaac de Gois is on there. He will give them a bit of spark around the middle of the ruck. Look, Peets has been good. Don't worry about that. But you know, with Isaac de Gois, what you're going to get, he'll be up in the face of the Manly Seagulls. They badly need a mistake here, Parramatta. They're under extreme pressure here, and you'd think if they hold the ball here, Manly, they'll be putting points on the board very shortly.
Sandow's kick not as good as the last one and comfortably taken by Blair. And Blair runs it back to within 22, 23 metres of the Parramatta line. Parramatta lead on the low scoreboard by 10 points to 6 as the ball's taken ahead by Senny Lafayette. That time he's much more comfortably put to ground. He plays the ball about 18 metres out. They go back to the right side. Leary, Cherry Evans. He almost got on the outside of his man. He just couldn't get away and give Lyon a little run to the try line. 10 in from touch, eastern side of the field. Jamie Lyon back to the centre of the park to Burgess. Burgess tries to bulldoze his way over the top. He's tackled about 5 metres out on the goal line at Parramatta's end of the field. Ballon, away it goes to Cherry Evans. Long ball to Foran. Foran holds it up now for Brett Stewart. Quick hands to Chase Blair. Oh, lovely try. Brett Stewart. Beautiful. Oh, absolutely beautiful the way he held that ball up for the very last moment. He sucked the man in Reece Robinson on this side of the field and gave Blair an uninterrupted passage to level it it 10-all on the low scoreboard.
The timing of the ball from Brett Stewart was just sublime. It was just absolutely brilliant. Once again, it's on the Parramatta right side. Now, they really didn't know what they were doing out wide here. They've gone to the video ref here just to check whether Chase Blair has put a foot either on the in-goal area or on the dead ball line. I must say this, I would have thought he should have just put it down straight away here, Chase Blair, but he tried to improve the position. I'm just trying to see it on the TV here at the moment. As Chase Blair gets the ball, he does run perilously close to the dead ball line, but I think it's okay. In saying that, he has improved the position by about 20 metres. It's a kick that Jamie Lyons should get. I think this will be a try to the Manly Sea Eagles.
Well, here we have another look at it. Mark Riddell, I think it looked all right the first time, but there's so many lines out there at the moment.
Yeah, there certainly is. Look, I think he's okay. I think he's just inside that dead ball line. As Darryl said, he improved the position. This replay is definitely going to show us, yeah, there's no problems there. That's definitely going to be a try. But, guys, this Parramatta side, they've got to rectify their right side defence. They're a man short again on this edge. And Manly, they're coming in this side all night tonight. They've got to get an extra number across.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was just poor defence there from Reece Robinson. I mean, both him and Champion both went for the fullback, Brett Stewart. He's a smart player, Stewart. He saw them. He knew he had Reece Robinson sucked in. There's the try. It's been awarded. No doubt about that. And he did improve the position significantly, Chase Blair. So I suppose at the end of the day, he's done the right thing here. But that was once again the ability of the two halves and Brett Stewart to combine is just incredible. They must practice it time after time after time. The only problem is, I think next year we won't be seeing them all together, so it's going to obviously break up that combination, but we should just sit back and enjoy it. It's brilliant watching it.
And I must admit, the Coates Hire, of course, they sponsor the video referee.
Wonderful people, Coates Hire.
Oh, I was remiss in not mentioning it, so I thought I'd better throw
it. This is your first crack at mentioning all that stuff. Just mention a few more if you want to.
Jamie Lyon, 10 metres in from touch, 20 metres out, pilots it straight over the black tot. And on the low scoreboard for the first time tonight, Manly is in front. Manly leads by 12 points to 10, and that's with about 6 minutes to go in the first half.
I think this has all come about through mistakes. And I mean, anyone who coaches the game, and Piggy will tell you this, he's been involved in the coaching, they just kill your mistakes. You make a mistake, particularly at this level, you get hammered, and that's exactly what's happened. We've seen Parramatta make too many mistakes. They've given Manly opportunities up in their part of the field, and they've taken them. They're too good a side, Manly, to let all these opportunities go to waste.
Well, it's one of the reasons in the last decade, Darryl, that they've basically permanently been in the top four just about, because they just make fewer errors than the opposition. And when they get an opportunity, they've got the class players to make you pay. Simons goes for a run. He's tackled about 35 out from his own goal line. 12 metres in from touch. In saying that, though, the team that's got the ball, because it's so still warm, has obviously looked the better team. I mean, when Parramatta's had the ball, they've looked good. So.
Yeah, well, we've still got 5 minutes to go in this game. I mean, we've seen 22 points scored already. So there's Cherry Evans having a crack at a 20-40. He hasn't hit it very well. He picked up here from Hopper Wade. He's got a bit of room to move, but it's a great chase from the Sea Eagles. Look at them. There's about 10 of them up there confronting him, and there's Parramatta players still trying to get back onside here.
And a tackle that doesn't please the Parramatta fans. It was Lyon and Leary involved in the tackle, but it was more of a backslam than a lifting tackle. And so the referees weren't going to penalise that. Here they come as Robinson's in the centre of the field trying to look for work. He's done a good job at times, Reece Robinson, trying to take a bit of pressure off his forwards. De Goyce goes for his first run of the night. Oh, I tell you what, he almost got through and slipped it past. He had a player trailing him through, and he almost had Watmough away. Gee, that would have brought some glee to the crowd. But now they've got a reason to cheer, because the player who made the little break, De Goyce, wasn't allowed some latitude to get up and play the ball quickly, and the referee says penalty to Parramatta. Sandow kicks it out, and we'll just see how good they are with the ball now. They've got a chance.
Well, guess who made the tackle? It was Matt Ballin, who's just a great player. He's just a competitor. Followed De Goyce all the way, got him in the end. It was a great tackle. Here's the Eels on the attack, 20 metres out.
And Sandow goes back to the left side of the field, and Norman has Takarang. He's got on the outside of Lyon, but Lyon comes at him. He's not going to let him get away this time, and he can't put the big semi-trailer in for another try on that left side of the field as they take it ahead through Maru. And Maru brings 3 players in to put him down a few metres out on the goal line. De Goyce goes back the open side. Paulo, he gets it onto the other Paulo, which is Junior. So Joseph, the Junior, about 2 or 3 metres out from the goal line. They'll come the open side again. Now the ball is fed away to Norman. Norman comes on the right side to Sandow, throws a dummy, and he's taken it. A good tackle by Foran, about 5 metres out from the goal line. Parramatta on the attack, 15 15 metres in from touch. De Goyce will go back the open side. It comes to Corey Norman again. He looks for a runner, taking it up as Junior Paulo. Quickly the ball goes to Takarangi, out to Red Radara. Red Radara runs around and scores his second try of the evening. They took the long route to get there, Parramatta. I'm not sure Takarangi couldn't have scored. The referee says he has a try, but we're going to go to the Coach Hire video referee to adjudicate whether this is another 4-pointer to the big semi-trailer.
I've got to say, I don't know why they're going to the video referee here. I've got absolutely no idea. The only way, I thought there may have been a question mark over the last pass. They're looking at the put down here. Well, unfortunately, you can't see it on the screen because it happens to be under where the black line is. Here's another angle of it. Looking at the put down here from Radradra, that's a try. There's absolutely no doubt about that. But that was a brilliant backline move, and it came on the back of Junior Paulo. He got the ball. It wasn't a great pass. He did well to take it. He went to the line, took a player out as we're waiting for this decision. It's a try.
The Coach Hire video ref said
you love the Coach Hire video referee. Let's go through some more stuff while I'm at it. What about... Let's talk about half-time. It's coming up soon for Tyre Power. Not to mention the lower grades thanks to Shimano. You with me?
Yes, I am.
Anyway, great try. Radradra in for his second. Again, put on a plate to him by Takarangi. But the man who did all the work there, don't worry about that, was Junior Paulo. He did extremely well.
Mark Riddell got possession. You'll score points, it seems, tonight.
Yeah, it certainly does, especially early in the season. Look, what's surprising me, though, is the side that the Parramatta side seem to be scoring on, up against Hiku and Jamie Lyon. I would have thought they probably might have had a little bit more joy where Tommy Simon's playing out of position with Chase Blair, but they're doing a very, very good job, that Parramatta left edge, in converting the nice little offload into points.
Here's Reece Robinson. He's about 8 metres in from touch, 22 metres out on the Cronin grandstand side of the field. He's put it high in the air. I noticed that they didn't rise as one straight away, but they did when the ball reached the post, because it swung back between the posts and over the crossbar and on the low scoreboard. 2 minutes to go till half-time. It's Parramatta 16, Manly 12.
He just put a beautiful little fade on it. Something I can't do at golf, David. I know you're a bit of a golfer, aren't you? I don't have a fade. I've just sliced. I'm left to right all the time. I have to aim 45 degrees when I'm teeing off. It ends up landing in the middle of the fairway. But unfortunately, about the last 20 metres of trajectory, whatever that word is, keeps coming. Ball comes back to me. I can only hit about 170 metres, but I'm very accurate.
Well, if you're 170 down the centre all the time, right, that'd be very good, Darryl.
Well, that's the best I can offer, champion.
Well, now Lyon takes over the kicking. Of course, Gutherson was doing that early for those that came in late. Young Clint Gutherson taken from the field with a knee injury. Won't be back tonight. He'll have scans tomorrow on his right knee. Parramatta have the ball, closing it on half-time. And I dare say this is the worst time in a game, isn't it, for a coach, when you've just scored a try, a minute before half-time, you're sitting there saying, please don't make a mistake in this set. Kick it down the other end and play out the half and go in with the lead.
I think it's probably worse for the other coach who's just had the try scored against you a minute before half-time. So, yeah, no, both coaches, you know what they're like. They're always nervous. Once again, Parramatta going their left side are forcing overlaps here. There was an overlap. If that ball player could have got the ball away there, there's absolutely no doubt that they are targeting Jamie Lyon's side. They're having great success.
Corey Norman puts a ball down that left wing side and going across there and picking it up as Brett Stewart. He looks up and said, oh no, look at this. And Radradra came flying down and the semi-trailer hit him with the lot. And he had no support. Parramatta lining up in defence here to try and force a Manly error before half-time. Manly taking a bit of time to get back on side at the moment. There's 30 seconds left in the first stanza. Parramatta lead by 16 points to 12. The ball comes away to Hiku. He tries to take a bit of pressure off his forwards, and now he gets a pass away at the last moment to Burgess. Burgess works it out to his own 20. It's enterprising football, closing it on half-time, 20 out in your own goal post. Not quite sure that Jeff Tuvey would be happy with that. Now a long pass comes out to the right side of the field as Manly work it back towards Takarangi, and they're going to play the ball as Lyon will play it. About 10 in from touch, 20 out, and the siren, I think, has gone for half-time.
Yep.
Didn't hear it, but
I didn't hear it either. So.
But the referee must have heard it. Or maybe they count down to the ref these days, don't they?
Yeah, I don't know what
4, 3. It's just in case he can't get it right. Tell him it's half-time.
I'll tell you what, that was an entertaining half of football to start the season down here in Sydney, absolutely, because Parramatta, it's funny, momentum swung from side to side. Parramatta started well, then Manly hit back, and Parramatta got the last laugh at the end with a great try to Radradra, his second. Great first half of footy. looking forward to the second half now.
But the ball moved a lot, didn't it?
Absolutely. Both sides prepared to throw it about, take chances. Both sides look supremely fit. I mean, that's one of the great things about rugby league in this day and age. Is the first round, they're set, they're ready to go. They hit the ground running, the players today.
And just before we go to the break, Mark Riddell, I don't think Jeffrey Einstein, team that makes the fewest mistakes in the second half, wins.
Yeah, I think that's the case with a lot of games early in the season. Completion rates are even more important early on. Look, I thought Parramatta were probably the better side in that first half, and I think the score line that we've got, 16-12 to the Eels, reflects that.
So at half-time, Parramatta on the low scoreboard lead 16-12. Sammy Radradra had 2 tries, Will Hopewadi 1. Reece Robinson has kicked 2 goals from 3 attempts. The Manly side, Brett Stewart and Chase Blair, the try scorers. Jamie Lai, Deadeye Dick 2 from 2. Haven't had that many scrums. Manly have won 4 scrums to Parramatta's 1. Penalties have favoured Manly 5-3. And we've had Clint Gutlerson sadly have to be taken from the field in the 14th minute with a right knee problem. Junior Paulo, I don't think he'll be playing next week, and perhaps even a couple of weeks after that. He's on report for a tackle that didn't look that bad with the naked eye, but gee, when you had a look at it on the replay, I think that he's going to be out for a few weeks with the tribunal and whatever they call it these days. They all just have a look at it, give you what you're going to get, and you accept it. I don't think they'll be challenging it.
Oh, it'll be interesting to see what grading they have on it. I mean, that's a bit of a lottery knowing what grading it's going to be. But I agree with you. I think he's going to have a few weeks on the sideline. It was an ugly tackle, and I don't think there was any malice in it, but it did look bad. He just swung him over, and he landed on his head. You can't do that these days. There's Jared Hayne walking along, waving to the fans at half-time.
Half-time brought to you by Tyre Power. We'll be back shortly with some more from Parramatta Stadium. And on the low scoreboard at half-time, it's Parramatta 16, Manly 12 as we go to the half-time break.
The continuous Coal team on 2GB is thanks to Holden, Coal Supermarkets, Coates Hire, Shimano, McDonald's, Tyre Power and Bryden's Compensation Lawyers.
And welcome back to Pertex Stadium. Mark Levy in the chair while David Morrow grabs himself a cup of tea after a fantastic first half of football where it's Parramatta 16 leading Manly 12 on the low scoreboard. Darryl, Brohman, Mark Riddell to have a look at the first half. Big man, you touched on the fact that it was such an entertaining first half. It was Parramatta early. Manly got themselves back into the game, but it's Parramatta holding that buffer at the break.
Absolutely, Mark. And you know what? We talk about it all the time. Momentum is such an amazing thing in rugby league. And in that first half of football, I reckon we had about 5 or 6 different momentum changes. And it comes on the back often of mistakes and building pressure. I mean, coaches are always talking about building pressure and not making mistakes and whatever. And in a perfect world, you know, if you don't make mistakes, you do build pressure. If you're out there, you know, all over the opposition defensively, that's what happens. But Parramatta started really well. They led 10-0. They looked to be in control of the game. Then they started making a few mistakes, gave the Manly Sea Eagles some opportunities. They didn't take them all, by the way. They had a lot of opportunities, Manly, but ended up taking a couple of them. They've now, I think, identified where their best attacking style needs to be, and it needs to be down on their left side. You know, that's clearly where Parramatta struggle. On the other hand, and quite surprisingly, the Eels have had great success attacking Jamie Lyon and also Peter Hiku, both outstanding players. But that's where they're targeting them, and that's where they're having success. So, look, anything could happen in the second half. There's 16-12 Manly to Parramatta at the moment. If you're a Parramatta supporter, you'd be happy with that. Yeah. I think if you're a Manly supporter, you'd certainly be thinking, well, we can certainly win this game.
Edge of your seat stuff. And halftime brought to you, of course, by Tyre Power. Get the power of Australia's biggest independent tyre retailers. Mark Riddell down on the touchline, watching up here in the broadcast box. Very, very quick football. Was it as quick as it looked down there?
Yeah, look, it certainly was, especially early on from both sides. Look, you know, the errors slowly started to creep into the game as it wore on. The players got a little bit tired. And we're going to see that over the first few rounds. Just on the first half, look, I thought Parramatta were the better side. I thought it was only their own, you know, unforced errors and penalties that invited this Manly side back into the game. But yeah, I think Parramatta are certainly on top. They've had a real bad habit tonight after they've scored points to you know, an unforced error, create an unforced error and invite Manly back into the contest. Darryl spoke about building pressure. Well, the most important set after you score points is the next set off the kickoff. It's 100%. You must complete that set and get back into the arm wrestle, and Parramatta aren't doing that tonight.
How'd you see Anthony Watmo's first half? I must admit, all the Parramatta forwards, sometimes you look at them and he's hard to pick up sometimes. I thought in a blue jersey, Anthony Watmo. How'd you assess his first half?
Yeah, look, I thought he had a good influence over the players down here with their defence. He was very vocal about getting his side off the defensive line. I don't think we've seen enough of him with the ball. And correct me if I'm wrong, Darryl, I'm used to seeing Anthony Watmow play on that left edge and you know, dart in behind the ruck using the dummy half to hold the markers and sort of stay on that left side of the field. At the moment, in playing in the 13, he's playing through the middle. I'm not sure whether the defensive work is taking a little bit more juice out of him. I know I saw him call for Luke Burt, the trainer, to tell him that he was gassed and he had to come off. In turn, he came back on with about 5 minutes to play in that first half after Manly scored the last try. So they know how important he is for this Parramatta side.
All right, Piggy, now, I'm just having a look here at some stats. Sammy Radradra last year, 24 tries in 31 games. He's added 2 to that tally tonight. He's just a big, strong human. You give him the ball close to the line, he'll barge over 9 times out of 10.
Oh, he's a good player. He's a very good player. I think it might have even been in this corresponding game last year when Manly played Parramatta. I think Parramatta beat them here last year in a bit of a surprise. I'm pretty sure he ran about 100 metres to score a try in that game, Sammy Radradra. And he's had great success here again tonight. I mean, the first try was really, well, he had to barge over the top of his opposing number in Peter Hicker, and he did that with a fair bit of ease. I'm not being critical of Hicker. No one would have stopped him in that situation. Takarangi gave him a nice ball. He had momentum up, just went over the top of him. And the second try he scored was even easier. All he had to do was catch the ball. I think there was a small question mark on the pass once again from Takarangi, but he just had to catch it and he scored the ball and got the ball and put the ball down over the line. Look, he's a very good player, Sammy Radradra, no doubt about it. And as I said during the call, I'm really surprised that they are having success on that side, because you've got a seasoned international in Jamie Lyon over there and a very good player in Peter Hicker there, and they're getting on the outside of him all the time. Maybe it's coming from inside. I'm not sure about that, but I have seen Takarangi is enjoying his chances against Jamie Lyon, and at the moment he's more than holding his own.
So Parramatta 16 points to 12 over Manly at half-time thanks to tyre power. And Peggy, I must admit, sitting up here in the commentary box, I looked at this Manly side and I think to myself, geez, you take Daly, Cherry Evans, Kieran Four and you let them go to other clubs. They're a completely different football side. Everything's created off their halves like most teams, but gee whiz, they're quality footballers, aren't they?
Yeah, they certainly are. They're very, very special players in this game. Yeah, look, it's going to be very interesting to see how that whole Manly half situation pans out. I think we've already mentioned tonight Cherry Evans is going to announce it tomorrow. Look, I wouldn't be surprised if they do both leave, that Manly straight away go on the attack, you know, and try and sign someone like a James Maloney, who I think's off contract.
Trent Hodkinson.
Yeah, those sort of players, and just get back on the front foot and try and build a side around those halves, because there certainly are a few halves on the market this year.
Yep, you're 100% right, Piggy. We'll come back to you once this second half gets underway. Emails coming through at 2gb.com. Adrian writes, pinch me, I'm dreaming. Thirsty on 2GB, wow. Any chance we can get his great call on the Kangaroos tour of 1990 with Ricky Stewart making that break? Have a good season, boys. Phil writes on the email, hi team, listening from South Australia. They're the best rugby league presenters in both radio and TV. Have another great call as per usual. Go Manly from Phil down there in SA. A stack of them coming through. We'll get to those throughout the night. 2gb.com. Click onto the feedback icon. It's half-time. Parramatta 16 leading Manly 12. We'll take a break. David Morrow back in action for the second half action from Pertex Stadium.
The continuous Coal team on 2GB is thanks to Holden, Coles Supermarkets, the Daily and Sunday Telegraph, IMB, Accor Hotels and Blackwoods.
And welcome back to Parramatta Stadium and Pertex Stadium. I've got to call it that now, don't I?
Yes, Pertex, mate. Start giving the sponsors a plug.
Pertex Stadium. And on the low scoreboard at half-time, Parramatta 16, Manly 12. I reckon that was I don't know whether you can ask for much more. On opening game of the season, 28 points, end-to-end stuff, few errors, which of course creates some attacking opportunities. And we saw the halves really come into their own. Sandow produced a little bit of magic down here to produce one try. Cherry Evans and Foran produced some lovely bits of football for Manly. And of course, Brett Stewart, well, he's something special. Is he the logical player to walk into Jaron Haynes' State of Origin jumper, or is
I don't think so. I think probably Dugan would be the one. Seeing Dugan played centre last year, I think they'll probably go with Dugan at the moment. But it should depend on form. I mean, Brett Stewart's a wonderful player. We all know that. But there are some fantastic fullbacks around. But obviously none of them at the standard, really, that Jared Hayne does. Well, that he applies at State of Origin level. His ability at State of Origin level is unquestioned. He's without doubt one of the great State of Origin players for New South Wales in the last 5 or 6 years. And he's probably been the reason, you mentioned it before the game, the reason they've won a few games in State of Origin. I reckon he's not single-handedly, but he's been the reason that New South Wales have won some of those really tight encounters, and he's a wonderful player. But Brett Stewart is such... He just glides over the ground, doesn't he? He's got such good instincts. He knows exactly where the ball's going to hit him, and he knows when he's got Foran and Cherry Evans on the inside of him, he knows the lines he should be running, and they usually supply the perfect ball for him.
Well, the thing was in that Mark Riddell was that he set one up with a beautifully timed pass for Chase Blair, and it was his gloriously timed inside run off Foran which set the first try. But he's having a bit of a game.
Yeah, he certainly is. Look, and they're going to need him to really inspire his side tonight in this second half if they're going to be any chance this evening. It certainly is a big clash early on. Just quickly having a look at both these sides who they play next week. Manly, they take on the Parramatta, they take on the Bulldogs, whilst Manly take on the Storm. So neither of these sides would want to be 0-2 after the first 2 rounds.
But it's that sort of competition, Dave, isn't it? I mean, whoever you play, you know you're going to be up for a tough game. I mean, I think most sides have improved this year, probably with the exception of the odd one. Look, originally I thought South would really miss Teo and Sam Burgess, but from what I saw of them last night, Glenn Stewart was fantastic. Tim Grant can't make the team.
Well, he's an international, Glenn Stewart.
Yeah, well, look, they're definitely going to miss Sam Burgess. There's no doubt about that. He's a great player.
But they've changed the way they play, though, Darryl. Yeah. They're not going as direct down the centre, or they didn't last night.
Well, they got the halves are playing, like Adam Reynolds is playing better, no doubt, and the 5'8", I think, is a superstar.
Stay behind! So Parramatta to get us underway with the second half here at Parramatta Stadium, and there it is, inside Manly's territory. And, I tell you what, there was almost a drop ball, but he did well, did Lawrence, as he ran it out. And going to play it. Now, what's happening here?
There's an injury straight away. I think it might be Watmo. I think it's Anthony Watmo.
Yeah, we got it.
Watmo. He's gone up to make a tackle here, and he went straight down as if he's... I thought he may have hurt an arm or something.
In fact, it's Hassan, of course, who brought the ball back.
He's holding his ribs here, Anthony Watmo. Hassan took the ball back. Watmo went in there, and he just reeled out of it. He's got a rib problem here, Anthony Watmo, so he's in a fair bit of pain here. I think they're claiming
Is there a suggestion that he lifted his knee into Watmo's chest?
I'd like to see it again. I must admit I wasn't watching the replay, but there's a lot of reaction from Parramatta fans, but that's hardly surprising.
Is that the suggestion, Mark?
Yeah, there's a definite knee lift there. His knee was straight into the middle of Watmo in the air as Chocky went in to make the tackle. So that's what's got him on the ground, and I dare say winded, and then hopefully not anything else, but there was a definite knee lift in the tackle.
Well, James Hassan it is, who caught the ball. He caught the ball running forward. He didn't wait. It's on report. So that might... So we've got 2 players on report now. Junior Paulo from Parramatta and James Hassan from Manly.
I don't think on report means anything, to be really honest with you, David. I mean, even if it wasn't on report, they'd pick it up.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it?
It makes it easier for them. They'll get the penalty here. What do you think they do? I think they take the 2.
Well, Mark O'Neill, who's in charge of that area these days, the former premiership winning captain from the West Tigers, and because it's a penalty and a foul, of course he can be interchanged for free. So that'll help him go and get patched up with whatever he needs to be. They're going to have the shot at goal to try and stretch this lead to 6. But Mark O'Neill was telling me that they'd made the charges for James Garver at 9 o'clock this morning. I think they'd already worked out exactly what they were going to charge him with. So they're on the ball.
Oh, well.
So it means that tomorrow morning, when you're on your way to work, maybe they'll already have the charges out from tonight's matches.
You know what? Seeing you're getting the train up to Newcastle tomorrow, you might be on your way to work earlier than what I'm on my way to work.
I will be.
David Gow has come on to replace him too. I like David Gow. Actually, I spent a bit of time with him over the holidays. I saw him in Bali. He was holidaying the same place as me. He's a lovely bloke. Got a lovely wife and a beautiful baby. I'm Darryl Brohman.
Here's Reece Robinson right in front of the sticks. Penalty against James Hassan for lifting his knee into Anthony Watmoe. Opening tackle of the second half. Opportunity for the Eels to go 6 points clear here, as Robinson shouldn't have any worries with this. There's the kick. It's there. And so the low scoreboard now reads Parramatta 18, Manly 12. Robinson's now kicked 3 from 4. And, of course, not only does Manly not have possession now, they've got to kick it back up to Parramatta. So they've started with, instead of having the first set of 6 in the second half, they've had 1/6 of a set, and they've given away 2 points.
It's just a bonus 2 points, isn't it? I mean, you know, they've just first tackle, gives away the penalty, they kick the goal, bonus 2 points to Parramatta. If they happen to win the game by 2 points, Parramatta, well, they'll look back at that and say, thank you, appreciate it, James.
Parramatta bring the ball out from their own end as they move the ball to the right side of the field. And speaking of David Gower, he goes for a run. He's tackled about 22, 23 metres out now from his own goal line. And the ball is moved from De Goyce back to Moaroa. And Moaroa, that shock of longish hair, is tackled about 12 short of the halfway line, about 20 metres in from touch. Ball comes back to the centre of the park, and here they go again. The Parramatta Eels bring it up as Joseph Paulo. He's tackled about 5 short of the halfway in the centre of the park. Now another penalty for crowding. A little bit of crowding, hand on the ball. I mean, doesn't matter what you call it. Basically, Ballon's been penalised for not allowing Parramatta a correct time to play the ball. Now the man stopped. You called Hill. A lot of it last night, Darryl, hand on the ball penalties.
Yeah, I'm not so sure there. I've got to say, I thought the Parramatta player was boring forward before he played the ball, made it look like Ballon did something. Parramatta take the tap,
Here they go. They quickly move to the right side of the field. The ball goes away to Robinson. Little chip kick back on the inside. This should be a try. I think you'll find Sando. Sando's got for the ball forth, and Burston scored another Parramatta try. Great football from Reece Robinson. It started as Parramatta quickly moved the ball from the centre of the park to the right, and then Robinson showing some great skills down that right side, ran out of room, little centre kick, little grubber kick back to the end goal, and Sandow did the rest. It's 22-12 with a kick to come.
Well, he basically started that, then finished at Chris Sandow. Once again, they got the overlap there. The ball kicked back on the inside from Reece Robinson. I've got to say, I would have thought they might have gone to the video. No, didn't need to. I didn't know whether he got it down, Sandow, or not correctly, but he did. He just put it down, and the referee spoke to the linesman, said, that's okay, champion, and they awarded the try. Chris Sandow showing off his tat or something there on his right bicep. Geez, I've never seen him look. He hasn't been that skinny since he was born.
Oh, dear. Wow. Well, a mistake from Hassan in the opening tackle of the second half, Mark Riddell. It's a different ball game.
Yeah, it's certainly turned things around straight away, hasn't it? The penalty to the Eels late in the set, and then I loved how the Parramatta side just went on the attack, straight from the tap for the penalty, and they got the rewards. Nice kick inside, Sandow on the spot.
So here's the man that put the little centre kick back infield for Sandow to score. He's about 19 metres in from touch. Reece Robinson 15 metres out. Opportunity to really give the Parramatta team a real lift here. They lead by 10. This to make it 12. There's the kick. It looks pretty good. It's good. The Parramatta faithful are happy. And on the low scoreboard, the Eels are out by 2 converted tries. Parramatta 24, Manly 12. And we've only had 5 minutes of the second half, and they've scored 8 points.
Well, they've actually scored 14 points in about the last 10 minutes, because they scored a try before, points before half-time. So the last 10 minutes has been all Parramatta. They've thrown the ball about. They look like they've got some attacking flair out wide, and that was a wonderful try, once again orchestrated, I think, by the little halfback. Chrissy Sandow is having a cracking game.
Yeah, he's starting to run. Well, as we said, he looks so light. I think I read a story during the week where he played most of last season at 85 kilos, and this year he's down to 81. And on his frame, that 4 kilos is a huge difference. Like a horse going round tomorrow, 85 to 81 makes a huge difference.
Oh, absolutely. And that's the first year he was there. He's probably playing at 90 kilos.
Yeah,
I mean, he was chubby the first year he was here. It affected his performance. You know, he never got a look in when Ricky Stewart was here. He played poorly. Now he's fit. He's back to his best. In fact, he's playing as well as he's ever played.
Ball fed out to Norman. Norman gets it away. Here he is again, Sandow. Perhaps on the accelerator. Oh, the pass was, well, perhaps ill-timed, but certainly Champion had every opportunity, I thought, to take that ball and perhaps send Robinson down on another excursion on that right flank. They moved at pace. Perhaps they moved a little bit too much crossfield, but they were moving, Darryl. They were really moving at pace here. and they had Manly backpedaling, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. I think someone needed to straighten that up a little bit. I think there was a little bit too much crossfield running that they were cramping a bit, and I think that was in the back of Bo Champion's mind. I think both thought, well, I'm going to try and cut back on the inside a bit here, and hence the pass wasn't as good as it should have been. He put it down, but gee, what an opportunity once again for the Eels. Gee, they're prepared to have a crack here, the Eels, and they're getting the benefits of it at the moment.
Well, Manly finally, after 7 minutes of the second half, get the ball. They had it for tackle one, gave the penalty away, and since then they haven't seen the football. And this game generally, for the most part, has gone with possession. I suppose most games do, but early in the season they certainly do. And now a ball, Senny Lafayette got a lovely pass away to Mateo, who's going to ground. The ball's played on the halfway penalty against Parramatta for hand on the ball. Well, here's Manly's chance to kick for touch on the eastern side and go on the attack from 40-odd metres out. Where's Foran's kick going to find touch? 35 metres out.
Yeah, once again, they can't rest on their laurels here, Parramatta. There's a long way to go in this game. We know what the attacking flair they've got here, the Seagulls. They need to repel them here, Parramatta.
Burgess takes it up and he's tackled about 30 metres out, and he'll play the ball, and he plays the ball to Ballon. He decides to explore the short side, goes to Mateo. Mateo is tackled 20 metres out, 10 in from touch, struggles to his feet. That was almost a penalty against Sandow. Little leg pull. Ball comes to Simons. Simons takes them on in the centre of the field. He's tackled about 16 or 17 metres out from Parramatta's line. He's on the scrum line, eastern side of the field. Open side they come again. Here's Foran, the puppeteer. Sherry Evans. Long cut-out ball that went past one, but Lyon managed to clean it up. Lyon gets tackled 10 metres out from the goal line. Good tackle, Takarangi. Played to Hiku. Hiku runs across field. He got away from one, throws a dummy, goes on his own, Peter Hiku, and with strength he almost gets there. He's only about a metre or two out from the goal line. Last play coming up for Manly. On the attack, and now another penalty against Parramatta. Surely they just didn't allow...
Well, that's just a coach killer. I mean, last tackle on the line. I've given him another set of 6 here. They score here. Brad Arthur will be filthy. That's dumb play. I think it was Isaac de Goyce there, all over the top of him. They take the tap and just, well, aimlessly take it towards the middle of the ruck.
Ball taken ahead by Senny Lafayette, and he's tackled about 5 metres out in the goal line. They go back to the left side. A pass taken well, and intercept by Sandow goes astray. The ball's gone loose. It'll be 6 to go. Gathered up over here by Blair. Blair runs it back. He runs into a solid hit there from Moaroa. He's tackled about 10 metres out. If Sandow had taken that, might have been interesting to see whether they'd caught him. Mateo then, short ball to Burgess, and Burgess is taken by a good tackle about 2 or 3 metres out in the goal line. And Gow was involved in the tackle. Senny Lafayette takes it to the line. He's tackled about 2 metres out in the goalpost. Southern end of the field. Parramatta lead by 12. Manly run to the line. On the back on the inside. Here's Foran running across field. Ballon brought him back on the inside. He almost got there. Another great tackle. Ball is played to Ballon. Away it goes into Cherry Evans. A little double pump to Lyon. Lyon puts the grubber kick in, and Sammy Redrana gets back there, collects the ball, and this time he makes at least 5 metres, but at least he saved the day as he did in the first half when he ran about 45 metres.
Well, the Manly Seagulls, I reckon, over the period of time Jamie Lyon's been there, probably scored 20 tries on the back of Jamie Lyon's boot. His kicking game is normally fantastic. That was a poor kick. He got a bad first bounce, picked up by Radradra. Now we see the Parramatta side 22 metres out, drag a penalty. They're offside, Manly. They can't do that. They've got to get back in this game. They can't give away penalties.
And Mark Riddell, I think Paul's praising that kick.
Yeah, look, it was an interesting option. I'm not sure whether or not it was a rush of blood kicking in behind Radradra, but I've got to give a huge rap to the Parramatta Eels defence. They threw a lot at him, the Manly side, in that set of 6, and to turn them away and now get that penalty, they can breathe a sigh of relief.
Huge turnaround there. Manly had the opportunity with the 6 to go, of course, with the penalty, and they couldn't convert it into points. Immediately concede the penalty, and now Parramatta back on the attack. They're already in front by 12. Is this where they can put the game? Well, put it this way. They'll put 1 foot on the winners till here if they can score, as the ball comes away now. The both hookers are out there. Peach is out there, and so is de Goyce, and they're going to play the ball 20 metres out from Manly's line. They go to the left, and now the ball comes out to the left side of the field, and taking it here is Ma'u, and Ma'u's tackled about 10 metres out from Manly's line. He's on the scrum line, western side of the field. De Goyce away to Peets. He stops, he props, he got it to Sandow. In turn, it goes across to Hopewade, and Hopewade is going to be held up. He's taking it into the Manly line. He's tackled about 6 or 7 metres out. Parramatta on the attack. They've got a great opportunity to stretch the lead. Here as it goes to De Goyce. Sandow on the left and underneath the goalpost. A long pass comes out wide to Ma'u. A shocking pass that's picked up on the bounce here by Norman. Norman runs back one way, puts a grubbing kick into the in-goal area. They're all racing back, and in the end, it's Brett Stewart, he gets there and knocks it over the dead ball line and forces the line drop out. Good vision from Norman.
Absolutely. That was just brilliant vision there from Corey Norman. He got the ball. There was an opportunity there for the Parramatta Eels, but I don't know where the winger had got to. Radradra, I think, had ducked back on the inside. There was a long pass thrown from Sando on the outside. If Radradra was there, I reckon he goes in and scores number 3. But he wasn't there. But brilliant vision there from Corey Norman. Gets the touch over the dead ball line from the Manly Seagulls. Here's another opportunity. They're getting tired here, Manly. They've had no ball here in the second half. They score here, Parramatta. I reckon it is shut the gate.
Maru did well there because he could have easily thrown that pass blind in the hope that Radradra was there. Anyway, here they go at the dropout, and Manor, who takes the ball ahead strongly, is going to play it around about 30 metres out now from Manly's line. Low scoreboard reads 24-12. Parramatta lead Manly. 28 minutes to go in the game. Out to the left it comes, and they take it up strongly again as they're going to play the ball about 20 metres out on the goal line. 15 in from touch. De Goyce gets it away, goes to Norman. Sandow, short ball to Gower, and Gower goes ploughing into the hit line. He's tackled by 3 Manly forwards. Mason was one of them. They're going to get up and play it about 15 metres out. Open side they come again. And now De Goyce throws the dummy. I'll tell you what, they almost caught the napping. He's tackled about 4 or 5 metres out on the goal line. They'll come the open side again. The ball goes to Manor. Manor tries to stride over. I think he thought the man he was running to was called out of the action, but he wasn't. They're going to play the ball close to the goal line. Ball comes to Norman. Norman, long cut-out ball, and Radradra gets a glorious pass and races in to score his hat-trick. Oh, too easy in the end. They set it up, but it was a good pass. Well finished. And on the low scoreboard, Parramatta 28, Manly 12.
Well, we talk about Corey Norman. We spoke about his vision prior to that when he put that little kick over the top and it was paddled dead by the Manly Seagulls. But what about his vision there? I mean, it was a beautiful ball. He probably had an overlap there. Radradra was just loitering out on the sideline, basically. Norman picked it up. He had a look. He saw Radradra unmarked, throws a ball of about 10 metres, hits him on the chest, scores untouched. He's having a picnic. Big Semi Radradra in for number 3. Already, after only 2 games, the leading try scorer this year, David.
He's on his way again.
This is amazing.
He's on his way again, Mark. Yeah, you better move. Cameraman might get in your road.
I've got to be quiet here, guys. I've got Robinson lining up the conversion. I've got to say, it was a nice play before. Timmy Manning got the ball and he sucked in a lot of the defenders, and then Corey Norman, he just wrapped around, continued to go the same way, found him very short, the Manly side, and it was a beautiful ball for the try.
So here he is, Reece Robinson, 7 metres in from touch, 22 metres out. Opportunity to really give Parramatta a big lead here. It's an amazing turnaround in the opening 14 minutes of the second half. And as Darryl pointed out, the last 2 minutes of the first half, Manly were in front with 2 minutes to go before half-time.
It was 12-10.
So here's Robinson. Opportunity to convert Semi Radradra's third try of the game. Moves in. He kicks towards the goalpost, and the Leagues Club crowd go up, so do those inside the ground, because Parramatta are in front on the low scoreboard by 30 points to 12.
Well, he's now kicked 5 from 6, Reece Robinson. None of them have been particularly easy, but he's slotted a lot of them. Well, as I said, 5 from 6, so he's had a good night kicking. Hasn't seen a lot of the ball. Unfortunately for him, Semi Radradra's been the one receiving the ball, and once again, they score on Sammy's side. It was another overlap. I mean, the Manly right side defence is, well, you've got to say, quite flimsy. I don't know where it's coming from, because normally that doesn't happen. When Jamie Lyon's there, you got Peter Hiku, 2 outstanding international players. They're just getting lapped by the Parramatta inside players who are creating the space on the outside, and they've got no answer to it at the moment.
I don't think he minds Semi scoring, because he's converted all his tries. The try he didn't score was Hopewade from this side of the field. Anyway, here they go again, Parramatta, but the game really, isn't it, Darryl, as you just pointed out a moment ago, Manly have had no ball in the second half through their own fault.
Well, they're getting tired. They've had to do too much defence, and, first game of the season, the one thing you don't want to do is be the side making the most tackles. There's another wide ball, great tackle out wide by Chase Blair there. Absolutely smashed. I think it was Bo Champion.
Bo Champion, yeah. Here they come, the Parramatta side again. They're going at pace. They're enjoying this Parramatta. They're going, everything's 100 miles an hour. Joseph Paulo ran to the line. Now they're up over the halfway. Looks like Pete's has taken the ball ahead. He's tackled 20 metres in from touch. Last play, they'll come the open side. It goes to Sandow. Sandow tries a little chip into no man's land. Sandow regathers. There's an opportunity here. He gets the ball to the left. A long pass comes across to Takarangi. And Takarangi scores another Parramatta try. Oh, Sandow, what beautiful little bit of football. He ran to the line. He kicked to the open space. There was just nothing there. He got the bounce, but the A-graders get the A-grade bounce, and the rest was just backing up and scoring in the corner. This is a cakewalk now.
Oh, he's putting on a clinic, Chris Sandow. What about the second half he's had? He got the ball here. He looked up. I think they thought he was going to kick deep. He said, no, I'm going to put a chip in. Got a beautiful bounce. Picked it up one-handed. The pass was sublime on the outside to Corey Norman, who threw an equally beautiful pass on the outside to Takarangi, and he scored again. They've gone mad. They've now scored, 22 points. It's been 17 minutes of the second half, so they've scored 22 points in about 19 minutes. It's been a scoring spree here from the Parramatta Eels. They're having a picnic now.
You love seeing that. I know you can't talk much, Mark, but when you see a little fella like Sandow, he spotted where all the Manly players were and said, there's a little circle here. I can land the ball on its end here and I'll get the bounce. And it's not luck, because these blokes, as you know, they all practice that. I'll get down to you in a sec after the kick, because you're almost going to have to move for him to get a bit like you kicking in your day.
Jeez, he was a good kicker, Piggy, wasn't he?
Oh, remember that day. I'll never forget the day in Brisbane. That was one of the all-time greats, that one.
I don't think he'll forget it was a good weekend.
Here's Reece Robinson, 3 metres in from touch, 25 metres out. This is probably his most difficult kick of the night. Well, certainly it is at the second half. It's 34-12 on the low scoreboard in favour of Parramatta as Robinson moves towards Riddell and then moves away from us. Looks good. A great kick from Robinson from the sideline. And on the low scoreboard, it's Reece Robinson 6 from 7 and Parramatta 36. Manly 12, 22 to go in the game. And again, Manly had they had 2 sets or 3 sets in this second half, Mark. I mean, they've just had no ball. And the more momentum, once you get momentum in this game, you got the opposition by the what's-the-names and you just don't let go.
Yeah, well, and that's what they've done. They've just taken the game to this Manly side. And it's just all Parramatta. Look, that was confidence from Sandow, wasn't it? He knew that they were so far in front. Everything's going well. He tries his little chip kick and all that support there pushing through for him. It was a great try. They're on fire at the moment, the Eels.
I love seeing halfbacks do that. I mean, that's gone out of the game. It's been coached out of a lot of the players.
Yep.
You know, don't chip in your own half, don't chip here, don't do that. Well, I just think it's really refreshing to see a bloke like Chris Sandow who can do that sort of stuff, take the odds to it, chipped it, he pulled it in one-handed brilliantly, and they've reaped the benefits from it. They've had no ball here, man. They are really struggling here.
Peach runs away from dummy half. They've got the ball again 45 metres out. And here goes Sandow. The ball comes away. This time he's going to go high into the air. And Stewart's underneath it. Here comes Radradra through on Stewart. Radradra, he almost put Stewart off, but Stewart taking it superbly. Radradra put an arm out to try and put him off. But the very, very plucky and gutsy Manly fullback stood his ground and took that superbly. I tell you what, you could have heard the footsteps, let alone the fact he's 6'45" taller there.
He would have seen it in his peripheral vision. And unfortunately for Parramatta here, they've been penalised. They were zeroing in here defensively on the back of that kick there. Isaac de Gois was trying to get him. They've been penalised. Here's an opportunity now.
Great kick.
For Manly. That's a brilliant kick. That's going 50 metres. Brilliant kick from Cherry Evans. They need to score. If they're going to get back in this, they need to score in this set.
Now Simons takes it ahead as Manly have been given great field position with that great kick by Cherry Evans. 22 metres out now from Parramatta's line, and the ball is taken ahead by Mason. And Mason looks strange. Oh no, managed to get a ball away at the last moment. He's going to ground. The ball fed across now to Louis, and Louis is tackled about 15 metres out from the goalpost at Parramatta's end of the field. Ballin wants a quicker play the ball. It doesn't come. Now it goes to Foran. Foran to the line. He gets it away to Cherry Evans, who played as a second man. He got under one tackle, throws a dummy, goes on his own. He manages to slip the ball, or almost slip the ball. He's tackled about 2 or 3 metres out from the goal line. Short pass and Manly almost crash over. They're held up about a metre or so out from the goal line. Manly on the attack. They haven't scored a point here in this second half as they're going to play the ball to Ballin. Ballin goes away to the left. It goes to Foran. Foran throws a dummy. He chinks. He stops. Did he try and get that ball away? I think he has. Now, they're going to rule knock on against Parramatta here. I think he tried to get the pass away, and I think you're going to rule Parramatta have knocked it down.
Yes.
Yep. You're right, David. That's exactly what they've done. Good crowd in tonight. 18,718, which I think is a pretty good crowd.
Well, it can't get much more in here.
It's a good crowd, aren't they, being treated to a clinic here. The Parramatta fans here, they'd be absolutely loving this. That was a fair set there from the Manly side. They did test the Parramatta defence, but in the middle of the ruck, the Parramatta defence is just outstanding. Absolutely outstanding in the middle of the ruck tonight, their defence.
Okay, fellas.
Yeah, he tried to keep it away for him, just got knocked out of his hands.
Ryan, out.
Again, though, the scrum takes forever to pack, when Manly probably would have wanted to pack that scrum as quickly as possible, but they're probably just as tight as Parramatta, though, even though now another hand on the ball, a little bit of a push, but it's only tackle too. It's not going to make any difference. They're just delaying here, Parramatta. Manly, they've got to restart another set. Ball comes to Lawrence, and Lawrence takes it ahead, and he's going to be tackled. No, he doesn't. He manages it. He backed into the opposition offload, then to Ballon. On it goes to Louis. Louis for the line. He's held up about a metre or so out. Good tackle from Gow. There's another defender in there as well, and it was Manor. Ball played now from dummy half. Ballon tries to force his way over. He's easily met by the same two defenders, and he's going to be put down a metre or so out from the goal line. It's played to Louis. They go back to the left at 4 and throws a dummy. Goes on his own. Oh, gee, De Goyce has done well. De Goyce did fabulously well. He held him up one-on-one, and then the support arrived, and the Manly 5-8ers tackle close to the line. Away it goes to Mateo. Mateo throws a dummy and goes on his own. They're easy stopped at the moment, but again, Mateo got a one-armer away at the last moment, and then to Stewart, and Stewart runs across field, and he's put down 12 metres out from the Parramatta line. Manly on the attack. The slow play the ball comes to Cherry Evans. Away it goes then to Mason. Mason tries to crash his way over. He's going to be put down about 2 or 3 metres out. Last play coming up for Manly. Ballon. They go back to the right. Second man play to Cherry Evans. He switches back to the centre. He puts a grubber kick in. It's loose on the ground. It's been dived on. I think it's Hopewade who dived on the ball right in front of the goalpost and saved the day for Parramatta. But I've got to say, I don't think that kick had any menace on it at all either. Hopewade seemingly had half an hour to get there to clean that up. And so Parramatta under no pressure again.
Well, actually, it's a pretty poor set, I think, from Manly. But in saying that, I've got to give credit to the Parramatta defence once again. In the middle of the ruck, they're impregnable at the moment. They just can't get through there. They're trying everything, throwing everything at them, the Manly side, but they can't get through at the moment. Here's Parramatta trying to work it out of their own half. Interesting to see Darcy Lussick get back out there. I thought he had a fantastic opening 20 minutes. Haven't seen him since.
Well, he had that knock to the head, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Now there's a kick downfield that should go out on the full, and it does. It shouldn't go out in the full. I'm just saying it will go out in the full, but it was a 50 or 60 metre kick by Norman down the left flank. And on the low scoreboard, Parramatta 36, Manly 12, 17 minutes to go in the game. We're hearing that Anthony Watmough will probably go back after that knock to the ribs, but I reckon if the scoreboard stays the same, Darryl, I would think, no, leave him where he is.
No, I'd be leaving him where he is as well. I want to give the referees a rap here too tonight. I think they've done a pretty good job here, David. I like the way they've now got a dominant referee. I think it is much better. I think Checkins handled it pretty well here tonight, and I just like the flow of the game with one ref. I'm a big fan of the one referee, and that's almost what's happening here at the moment, but I think tonight it's been better.
Well, that's what they told us was going to happen. We're going to have this dominant referee, and we're going to have the pocket referee who's there basically to look at little things, and that the touch judges are going to be adjudicating on the 10 metres and forward passes. So the game has flowed, and it's probably flowed also because we haven't had the wrestle as well, and two teams that have really been keen to throw it about. Now, Ballon was just checked there for a blood bin, so they've just stopped for a while. Mason hit with a good tackle. That's why the crowd roared. And now Lawrence is hit with a good tackle, but it was fortuitously for him. The ball fell out of his hands back into the arms of Foran, and then Foran is tackled, and he in turn loses the ball, and Parramatta come up with it. Nothing goes Manly's way.
Foran's pulled a hammy. When he took that ball and he took off, you could see that he just pulled up short. He's put his hand up straight away. He's held the back of his right leg. I'd say Kieran Foran has pulled a hamstring here.
Well, if he's done a hammy, and young Gutherson, of course, is gone, Maddai's expected back next week. You just wonder whether he's going to have any backs to choose from next week.
Well, he's got two. Well, he's got certainly probably his best back, and Kieran Foran coming off. This, for mine, is a hammy, and you would think that'd be a few weeks. At least 3 weeks, you would think.
Now, Hopewade runs the ball away, and he's going to be playing at 40 metres out. They quickly explore the right side, and Reece Robinson goes straight through. He just caught from behind. Great tackle. I think it was Cherry Evans who got him from behind. Now they've got up and had another crack. Ball back to the centre of the field, and Lussick. Lussick gets it away, and racing away, and scoring yet another try is Chris Sandow. Oh, I reckon Darcy Lussick won't enjoy that. I know he didn't have to do much, but what he did was back up a back and then put another back over. He did all the work he had to require, and Chrissy Sando's loving it.
Oh, the Eels have turned into the Harlem Globetrotters. That was brilliant work. Firstly from Reece Robinson, out of dummy half, scoots down the blind side, beats a couple of players. Chase Blair gets hold of him, lets him go, gets up, throws a beautiful ball back on the inside to Darcy Lussick, who throws another great ball back on the inside to Chris Sando, who starts playing the didgeridoo or something. But what a wonderful try it was. Chris Sando backing up in the middle of the ruck. I just mentioned where's Darcy Lussick, comes on, sets up a try. Brilliant try to the Parramatta Eels.
Shades of you, Mark, the way Darcy Lussick did that.
Oh, look, I think we've got to give all three of those players involved in that a big rap. Reece Robinson did phenomenally well. Darcy Lussick just trailing up through the middle. And I thought that was a really good ball to Sandow from Darcy Lussick. I thought it was a quality pass under pressure, but everything's right, going well for the Parramatta side tonight. They're on fire, plenty of confidence. They're going to see this one out.
And Robinson virtually in front of the post. This is the easiest kick he's had tonight. Sandow did score one in a similar position, but it was a little bit further to the touchline. He's probably under pressure for this kick.
I think he'll be kicking this.
Here comes Reece Robinson, just to add more insult to Manly's injuries worries. It's Parramatta 42, Manly 12 on the low scoreboard. 13 and a half minutes to go. They could score a half century and some here.
Well, David, you know the biggest margin's been 52-12. It is in danger of being surpassed here tonight. I don't think there's too much danger about that, because at the moment Parramatta are seriously, they're just playing like this is a park game of football. They're just throwing the ball about, they're having the time of their lives. And you know what? You don't see Manly sides beaten by these margins, not in the last decade or so. They're a very gritty side, Manly. They do lose games clearly, but they don't lose them by 30 and 40 points. This is an amazing performance from Parramatta, but I think it probably also does reflect some of the problems that Manly have got at the moment.
Well, they've got two backs off who won't be back. And, of course, they've had no ball in the second half, and Parramatta have still got just under a quarter an hour to continue on with this. And as you said, the way they're playing, they're really enjoying themselves. I mean, when a big prop forward backs up a winger and puts the halfback over for a try, it says it's a lot of fun. Now, a kick downfield early in the tackle count from Parramatta. I think they were thinking 40-20, but it went straight down the middle. But Sandow chases downfield, and Brett Stewart's taken 22 metres out from his own goal line. Great start to the season if you're a Parramatta supporter. And a big hit on Tommy Simons. Says that he sees him chopped down about 29 metres out from the goal line. Simons had to play most of the game in the centre position after Gutherson left the field after 14 minutes. Senny Lafayette manages to slip a ball away at the last moment, and racing downfield is Jerry Evans, and he's taken a great tackle by Sandow. He can't do anything wrong at the moment, the Parramatta halfback. Ball's played now to Ballon, 30 metres out from Parramatta's line. The ball comes across to Lawrence, and Lawrence has picked up and taken a great tackle. That's Mahu, isn't it?
Yes,
and
it is.
Mahu gets up, he's pushed out of the line by Ballon. Gee, that could have easily been a penalty. In the back play, there's a few in it now. There's a couple of little lefts and rights may have been thrown, maybe a few handbags thrown. I don't know. There's more players involved in the little melee than actually around the play the ball, so the referee's going to blow it up, see what started all this.
Yeah, look, it's just mainly a push and shove. I didn't see anything of any significance thrown. Darcy Lussick is in it up to his eyeballs, and there's a few Manly players there. There's probably about 8 from Manly, 8 from Parramatta. Really nothing happened here. It was a great tackle from Mahu. Lawrence got up. He resented. Mahu did go over. There was a push there from Ballon. Then Mahu shoved Lawrence. Lawrence started pushing. There's no real punches, so just push and shove. Nothing. Just play on. Do nothing, refs.
Takarangi came in.
Well, there was 8 from each side in there.
If you really wanted to go back to it, it was probably Ballon pushing that caused all the problems.
Yeah, you just hear the referee there now. Check and mention that. He saw it. He's watched it on the big screen. Matt Ballon instigated it. There'll probably be a penalty here to Parramatta.
Right, you're getting the penalty. You're getting the penalty.
Yeah, here it is.
No punches, Bernie. Jamie.
Jamie came up to have a shot at goal. Typical Jamie.
The only reason why that started was because Matt Ballon went to push a defender off, and it was a strong tackle. He's got no right to get involved. That's why it started. I'm giving you the right as captain to give you the explanation, okay? No, it's their penalty, mate, because Matt Ballon comes right up. No need.
You're going to get. He is the best in the game currently at refereeing the game from from the captaincy position. But he was never going to get away with that one.
You think he's better than Cameron Smith?
Oh, I think so.
You reckon?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, there's not much in it. I reckon a dead heat.
Oh, look, Cameron's got a few helpers, though. He's got Cooper down there, too.
But, I mean, there was nothing in that. And that, probably tells you, in this day and age, how the players have now become accustomed to not throwing punches. 2 years ago, there would have been punches thrown everywhere there. Darcy Lussick wouldn't have been able to help himself.
A great kick, though, by Parramatta has given them a great opportunity here to increase this lead because they've got the ball only 15 metres out from Manly's line. It goes to De Gois on the low scoreboard. It's 42-12 in favour of Parramatta over Manly. Watmo's gone back out there, by the way. He's going to play the ball 10 metres out in the goal line. De Gois, he gets it away. Lussick for the line. Oh, I'm not far away. How he'd love to score. He's held up about a metre or so out, and he's going to play the ball close to the goal line, under the goal post. De Gois sends it back. It comes to Sandow. Sandow holds it up. Away it goes to this side. Red Rana, can he get there? No, he can't. He was looking for try number 4. He's done well to stay in the field to play in the end. He decided to have a go on his own. He wasn't far away. They'll play the ball close to the line again here, the Parramatta Eels. And what are they going to do with it? They send it away to Norman. Norman decides to throw the dummy and come back down the short side. And has he lost the ball? No, he hasn't. The referee says yes, he has. Gee, I thought there was a hint of a strip in that.
Yeah, I think he got a bit of a hand there. I think he's a bit unlucky there, Corey Norman. I think there was a Manly arm in there to pull that loose. He's still blowing up Corey Norman, but given the fact that they're leading by 42 points to 12, I don't think he's going to worry too much about it.
Yeah, we're just watching a replay of the Lussick run.
He's played well, Lussick.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's never ever afraid, is he? I mean, yeah, there was... I think there was a little hand in there initially, and perhaps he could have controlled it. Gee, Mark, there's some tired fellas out there now. They don't want to pack this scrum, do they?
No, obviously the results gone past Manly now. Look, I'll tell you what, poor old Jesse Seni-Lafay's got an interesting 9 minutes. He's playing on the wing, marking up against Radradra, so I'm sure he wouldn't be too happy about that one.
You think Semi can make it number 4?
I think he can before the finish of the game.
Well, let's see what happens here as Manly work the ball out from their own end. They haven't had too much possession in the second half. They had a couple of opportunities to get their way back. Louis brings it up, and he runs into a brick wall. Lussick and Watmo are involved in that. There's another defender in there as well. But gee, they lined up and came flying out. Now Ballon throws a lovely ball in the end to Louis. Louis keeps it alive at the last moment to Mateo. Mateo tries to keep it alive. He just can't, as Cherry Evans had to back to try and get himself into the onside position. Mateo will get up. He's done a... Oh, no, he's got a cramp for a second.
He's blowing up about the tackle there, I think, from Bo Champion. He sort of spoke to about the referee for about 10 seconds, wanting a penalty, didn't get it.
Now Lyon gets it. Lyon puts a little chip kick over the top. It doesn't go too far, though, because Paulo picks it up and runs it back to the halfway line. 12 metres in from touch. Vic Cronin, grandstand side of the field. Low scoreboard. Parramatta 42, Manly 12 as they move the ball again back into the attacking zone. Parramatta have still got plenty of opportunities here to get to 50. Oh, they won't if they keep playing football like that at dummy half. I reckon it took the referee a long time to get Reece Robinson for the knock on, but they finally got the message.
Well, he couldn't have been looking at it, the referee, because it was quite obvious Reece Robinson knocked it on from dummy half. Took him about 3 or 4 seconds to blow the whistle. He must have taken his eyes off the play.
It's time for the continuous call. Harvey Norman and Bryden's Compensation Lawyers Man of the Match Award. Shortly, we'll give 3 players who are in the running for the Harvey Norman and Bryden's Compensation Lawyers Man of the Match Award. When you hear them, be one of the first 3 callers through on the 2GB prize line. 1300 722 873. 1300 722 873. The first caller will have first choice of the 3 players, and then so on until all players are allocated. Then when I announce the continuous call team Man of the Match Award, the caller who has that player will win $150 thanks to Bryden's Compensation Lawyers. Call 1300 722 873 for your chance to win $150, all thanks to Bryden's Compensation Lawyers and Harvey Norman.
Brilliant. You've gone off a bit early. We've got 7 minutes to go.
I got told
Don't ring yet.
I got told by Mark to have a go.
For those people in at the phones at GB, David apologises.
Anyway, here come Manly. Manly's striding down the left side of the field.
We haven't given the names out yet anyway.
Well, I was told to read it out. I followed the instructions.
You're doing some great stuff.
Here they come anyway, Manly. Can they score here? The ball is thrown along the ground by Ballon, picked up by Cherry Evans. Last tackle, Cherry Evans running around like a headless chook at the moment. He throws it back to Jamie Lyon. He had to go round his ankles to pick it up. He puts in a kick, going high for the ball. Senny Lafayette, he knocks it down back on the infield. Knocked on, says the referee, and Parramatta will come up with the ball 10 metres out from their own goal.
Yeah, they're a spirited bunch at the moment, aren't they, the Seagulls? Not much going their way there. We saw that kick across there from Jamie Lyon. On a different day, different circumstances, the ball was knocked back inside. Might have gone straight to Brett Stewart, who would have picked it up and scored. But it's not their night tonight here, the Manly Seagulls. And you know what? This puts a lot of pressure on the whole club, I reckon, given the circumstances, what's been going on the last month or so at this club. It's got to put more pressure on Jeff Tooby. There'll be more pressure on the two halves, particularly with one of them who's got a hamstring problem now. So,
and especially if the other one announces he's going to the Sharks tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to, well, it's an awful time if that announcement does happen tomorrow, but we'll have to wait and see.
Well, that was the rumour earlier, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
Ball comes away, and here comes Parramatta working the ball to the right side again. The ball's knocked down. Was it knocked down by Manly? I think the referee's going to rule a knock on by Manly or knock on by Parramatta. Now, who's going to be deemed to have knocked it on first? Both.
It was Parramatta. I'm pretty sure that's.
I thought Parramatta knocked it into Manly, and then Manly knocked it down.
Yeah, it's a Manly feed. Whether they've got the ammo or energy to do anything with it, they look a dispirited bunch at the moment. There's a few of them just hanging around. Their heads are down. Cherry Evans has got a bit of a limp up as well. He's looking like he's copped a little bit of an injury. Nothing too serious, but he's just sort of wandering around there and not showing a great deal of enthusiasm like the rest of his teammates.
They've actually looked like a rudderless ship in the second half, Manly. Admittedly, they had no ball, but that's their own fault.
Yeah.
They made the mistake on tackle one of the first tackle of the second half.
Absolutely.
Then they had 3 or 4 sets down here, couldn't do anything with it. Some aimless kicks when they did have a chance on tackle 6. Parramatta have had all the answers. Don't forget, Manly led 12-10 2 minutes prior to half-time.
It's an amazing turnaround, isn't it? And congratulations to Parramatta. I don't want to take anything away from them. They've been clinical tonight. Their defence in the middle of the ruck has been magnificent. And they've fixed up their defence out wide in the second half.
Jamie Lyon gets on the outside of his man for about the first time all night. He's tackled 12 metres out in the goal and he plays it to Simon. Simons gets it back to Mateo. Mateo throws the dummy. Then he offers it up to Mason. Mason comes steaming down the centre. He got away from one. Now Mason puts a grubber kick in. I think that'll be the first and last kick we see Willie do this year.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll be doing too many more of them, but, you know.
I'm not sure.
They're down 42-12. Who cares? You with me? I think he's got more significant things to worry about, Jeff Tooby, than Willie trying a grab a kick with 4 minutes to go.
It just looked odd.
Jeez, he looks fit though, Willie, doesn't he?
Does he? What? Might be that white jumper. Good ball comes out.
Never suited me, believe it or not, the white jumpers.
Ball comes out left and it comes up to Radradra, who gets a loose pass that goes behind him. He has half an hour to go back, gather it up, and then he's going to play it 35 out from his own goal line. 5 in from touch. Ball comes to Norman. Low scoreboard sees Parramatta lead Manly 42-12. After Manly led 12-10 with 2 minutes to go in the first half. It's been an amazing performance by Parramatta. Aiden abetted by, of course, a long run with possession and helped by a lot of Manly errors in the second half as the Banner runs the ball to the halfway line, plays the ball to the Guy, so away it comes to Sandow. He's had a great game, hasn't he? Up goes the bomb from Sandow. It's in no man's land. Who's coming for the ball? They're going to come up with it. Chase Blair's done well. He eyed it. He said it's his ball, and he takes the tackle about a couple of metres shy of the 30-metre line. His own end of the park as Senny Lafayette goes for a gallop. He's tackled 20 metres in from touch. Eastern side of the field. 35 out from his own goal line. Simons throws a dummy. Goes on his own. He's tackled 5 short of the halfway line. We've got about 2.5 minutes to go in the game, and the low scoreboard hasn't changed for a while since Parramatta really ran away with the game in the middle part of this second half. Well, really the early and middle part. Parramatta 42, Manly 12, as the ball is run up by Louis, and Louis is tackled 42 metres out from Parramatta's goalpost. Centre of the field. Last tackle coming up now for the Manly side as it goes to the right to Cherry Evans. He puts a grubbing kick in, and the ball goes straight into the hands of Radradra. The Parramatta crowd thinking, can he run 80 metres and score? Not yet. Well, he has scored 3 tonight.
He's certainly capable of it, but I think he might be even getting a bit tired here now at the moment. I wouldn't be surprised if they do put some points on here at the end of it. Manly, as I said before, very dispirited. They're doing their best to try and, well, stem the tide here, but the Eels, they could throw it around. Anything could happen here. We could have another Chris Sando chip over the top, I reckon.
Manor carves it up straight down the centre of the park. He got to the defence. Then he managed to hold it up. He gave it to Sando. In turn, it goes to Gower. And Gower stands. Can he deliver a ball? He can't. Yes, he can. They keep it alive in the centre of the park. Hopawade Bridge downfield. He puts the grubber kick in. Here comes Sandow. Sandow kicks with the head. Oh, he can't control it. It would have been a little bit longer from Hopawade if Sandow could have just partially controlled that. He would have had a hat-trick. Didn't happen.
Well, once again, it was just from offloads in the middle of the ruck. I think David Gower popped the ball back there. Then we saw Hopawade lurking around the middle of the ruck. He put the kick through. Sando was definitely first to the ball. Just too much weight on the kick from him. Kicked it dead. You'd think that would be the end of playing. We've only got about a minute to go in this game. Manly at the ball. They're trying to ruck it out from their own 20-metre zone.
It's time to announce the 3 players in line for the Harvey Norman and Bryden's Compensation Lawyers Man of the Match Award. Player 1, Semi Radradra. Player 2, Chris Sandow. Player 3, Darcy Lussick. Who'll win the Harvey Norman and Bryden's Compensation Lawyers Man of the Match Award? I'll take the first 3 callers now on 1300 722 873. The first caller through will have first choice of the 3 players, and then so on. I'll announce the continuous call team man of the match at the end of the game, and the caller who has been allocated that player will win $150 thanks to Bryden's Lawyers, protecting your future. So get to the phones now, 1300 722 873, and that's all thanks to Bryden's Compensation Lawyers and Harvey Norman. Manly racing downfield, kick through, taken by Parramatta, and they're going to play the ball, Parramatta. The dying embers of the game, 6 seconds left.
They did a great job to get out of the in-goal area there, but that'll be it. No one will get up here. It's a big win, isn't it? The Parramatta Eels, 42. Defeat the old enemy, Manly, 12. Great performance from the Eels tonight.
Parramatta just too good. And it basically came on the back. You know, at half-time, the Eels had got back in front just before the break. And we did say at half-time that the team that made the fewest errors in the second half would win the game. And what happened? James Hassan made a real blunder. First tackle of the second half, lifting knees into Anthony Watmoe. They take the penalty, go out by 6. The ball comes down the other end. They score another converted try off that set. And, well, that was it. They just had all the ball. And it's good to see, too, James Hassan and Anthony Watmoe just coming together. And Anthony, basically, big smile on his face. Don't worry about it. But I think that those that matter might worry about a lifting knee tackle. They're just too good, 42-12. And you wouldn't have thought that when Brett Stewart and Chase Blair that scored their tries in the first half, Darryl. I don't think any of us thought it was going to be a 30-point flogging.
No, absolutely not. I think I said at half-time anything could happen in this game, but it was blown apart basically in the opening 10 minutes of the second half. I think they scored 2 converted tries, kicked the goal, and it was basically all over. Gave them about a 16 or 18-point margin, and Manly just couldn't get their hands on the ball. When they had the ball, they were too tired to do anything with it. Plus, I think you've also got to give credit to some great defence from the Parramatta Eels here. So, wonderful performance from the Eels tonight and thoroughly deserved that victory. So, just looking out there for Piggy. He's looking for a player. Have we got our winners of the Man of the Match Award
The try scorer, Semi Radradra, scored 3. Chris Sandow 2. Will Hopawade and Brad Takarangi 1 each. And, of course, they're all backs. Not one of the forwards scored a try. Where are you? We're out there, Peggy?
Yeah, he's got Chris Sandow, I think.
Chris.
Yeah, down here with Chrissy Sandow. Chrissy, great way to kick off the season.
Yeah, mate, it is. It's been a long time coming. The boys been training really, really hard, and shows there tonight, but, we made a few errors, but that's footy when you want to play footy, so, yeah.
What about that first half, mate? I thought you threw the better of the side, and only to be leading 16-12. What did Coach Brad Arthur have to say at half-time?
Yeah, mate, Manly had all the ball, a couple of repeats on our line, and the boys did up really well, and they took a lot out of us, but when you have to hold the ball and complete our sets in the second half, we'll come over top.
What about that confidence, especially the chip and chase in the second half? Must be good playing off the back of this pack.
Pig, if you lose a bit of weight, you can run a bit more faster, so that's what I did in all season. I'm really, really grateful for having Brad as a coach, he really brings the best out of you.
The boys mentioned how good you're looking, how sharp you're looking when you got the ball. Mate, is that what you've really worked hard on this off-season?
Yeah, 100%. I can walk around in a singlet and no shirt these days now, so, I've been doing it for the boys, and that's what it's all about, playing with your brothers and teammates out there.
Go and enjoy the win, Chrissy. Well done, bud.
Cheers, buddy.
Yeah, look, he just, when he got a chance to control that game in the second half, he did some wonderful things. And I love the chip kick, Darryl, because you could see there was almost this great big circle there.
And Sandow said, I know where I'm going to put this ball, right in the circle, and I'll win the race. And he had a swarm of support over on the left, and that was really the try. That was the end of it. Takarangi scored that try, I think, from memory. And it was just, you could see, he just looked up, and Corey Norman put a glorious kick in that Sandow scored off. And the way they saw, both the halves for Parramatta played very well. And the big worry for Manly, of course, is that Kieran Foran looked as if he had to leave the field with a hamstring injury, and they don't fix overnight. As you would know, Darryl.
Well, believe it or not, I did pull a hamstring once. I was out for about 8 weeks. It was a horror injury. And you wouldn't believe it, I wasn't able to train when I had that injury, which is just terrible. But mate, it was a great performance from Parramatta tonight. They showed to me tonight, and I think probably to the rest of the rugby league community, they're certainly going to be more than competitive this year. If they have, like every other side in this competition, Dave, if they have a bit of luck with injuries, and then they keep their gun players on the paddock, they'll be more than competitive. That was a great performance from them tonight. I've got to say, I know it's very early in the season, it's a bad sign for Manly, I thought, tonight.
Well, Mark out there again.
Yeah, he's got Anthony Watmough, I think.
Yeah, down here with Chocky Watmough. Chocky, it's been, mate, huge build-up to this game. Just would have been glad for you to get on the field.
Yeah, it was, didn't get too much trial time, and was wondering how the lungs would go, but it was good. It was a good, fast, hard game, and the boys kept turning up for one another, and it's a credit to Parra boys.
What about that second half, mate? It was outstanding right from really when you copped the knee from the Manly forward. He's just turned things around from there, and it was all your way.
Yeah, look, we knew if we could get 50% of the ball, we could do some damage, and in the second half we didn't. I can't thank the boys enough, can't thank the fans enough for accepting me. It's been a great 4 months training with the boys and getting to know the boys and getting to know the Parra fans. So, I can't wait for a big year ahead for the boys.
Just spoke with Chrissy Sandow. Him and Corey Norman were outstanding tonight.
Yeah, they were, and the boys laid a good platform for them when we got the ball. We had to get the ball. Didn't really have it in the first half, but when we got fair play in the second half, we done some damage, and the boys have just run right.
Congratulations, Shocky. Good luck with the Parra side, bud.
Anthony Watmough there with Mark Riddell, and it's a game he'd love to get out of the road too. I mean, there's nothing like the game against your old club. Get it out of the road as early as possible.
Absolutely. I mean, there's been a big build up to the season, but it's probably been, 100-fold for Anthony Watmough, knowing his first game's up against the side that he's a life member of. I mean, it's a big occasion for him in particular, and he performed, I thought, extremely well tonight. He had a lot of mates out there. They were great tonight, I thought, the Parramatta Eels, and congratulations to them all. Wonderful performance from them, and I'll tell you what, the Parramatta fans will turn out in force here if they keep producing the goods like that. It was a great night for anyone who's a Parramatta Eel fan.
So the low scoreboard, Parramatta 42, Manly 12 for Parramatta. 3 tries to Radradra, 2 to Sandow, 1 each to Hopoate and Takarangi. Reece Robinson, 7 goals and 8 attempts for Manly. The try scorers, all their points in the first half. Brett Stewart and Chase Blair scored the tries. Jamie Lyon, 2 goals from 2 attempts. In the end, now this is interesting, 9 scrums to Manly. Parramatta only had 1 scrum. They didn't have a scrum feed in the second half. Really? According to that, I think that's... I'm trying to remember one. When they had the ball, they didn't drop it, did they? Penalties went Manly's way 9-7. The footy tab score, $1,199.70. That's picked the score. The Shimano lower grade scoreboard, Manly on the top of a 4-try performance from fullback Trebojevic, beat Parramatta 54 points to 26, 18,718 here. Junior Paulo's on report for a dangerous throw. Anthony Watmough, of course, we talked about those ribs. He seemed to be talking right at the end and laughing. And normally if you've got bad ribs, you can't laugh.
Well, he played the last 15 minutes
so
or
he'll be
so.
okay. Clint Gutherson will have scans on his right knee problem tomorrow. He left the field after 14 minutes. James Hassan's on report for that knee-lifting tackle, which saw Anthony Watmough leave with the rib injury. And Kieran Foran, that's the big blow from Manly. He left the field, with about 15 minutes to go in the game with what looked to be a hamstring problem, and he could be out for a few weeks. Certainly he could miss the Storm game, and that's not what they necessarily want, of course. Manly is that they go, as we said earlier in the call, go 0-2, and they're going to have the work cut out, even though it's at Brookvale next week, with what seems to be a mounting injury toll. Up against a team that obviously loves getting points early in the comp, so that when State of Origin comes, they've got them in the bank. It's one of Craig Bellamy's great push, and they do it a lot. Anyway, that's it from me, I think, because I think Mark Levy's going to come bursting in a moment and take over.
So let's go to a break as Parramatta leave the field triumphant in the opening game of the season. 42 points to 12 victors over Manly.
The continuous call team on 2GB is thanks to Holden, Coles Supermarkets, Lowe's, Harvey Norman, Bet Easy, Paddy's Markets and AAMI.
And welcome back, Pertex Stadium, the continuous call team. Mark Levy alongside Darryl Brohman, David Morrow and Mark Piggy Riddell. After a comprehensive victory, very, very impressive. Parramatta 42, Manly 12 in front of a crowd of 18,718. We've got our three callers for the Harvey Norman and Bryden's Compensation Lawyers Man of the Match. So, big man, please, who's the winner?
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt tonight. Chris Sandow, he deserves the award, and he was tremendous tonight. He looks, well, as I said in the call, he looks as skinny as I've ever seen him. He looks fit, he looks keen again. He orchestrated that victory. I mean, he had a very good working pack in front of him, but he did some wonderful stuff at halfback tonight, provided, well, scored 2 tries himself, probably provided 3 himself as well. So he had a cracking game. Chris Sandow, without doubt, our man of the match.
All right, so that means that Sandra from Thornton chose Semi Radradra. David from Woodbine chose Darcy Lussick. And congratulations to Lisa from Rouse Hill. You nominated Chris Sandow, who's our continuous call team Harvey Norman and Bryden's Compensation Lawyers Man of the Match. That player's won a $200 Harvey Norman voucher, and you have won yourself $150 from our good friends at Bryden's Compensation Lawyers. They win over 98% of cases. Stay listening for our next game for another chance to win. It's all thanks to Bryden's Compensation Lawyers and Harvey Norman. Mark Riddell will rejoin us here in the broadcast box, and we'll have a chat to David Morrow after his debut performance. Has been calling rugby league. Oh, geez. Since I won't go that far, David. For 30 years anyway.
I'll tell you what, Mark. Can I
very
just say
impressive, David, and 44 years. Gee whiz, there you go.
I'm just looking at the game stats here. Now, stats. People say stats don't lie. I'm looking at the completions here. These stats are telling me Manly completed 30 of 35, which is 86%. And they're saying Parramatta completed 21 of 31, which is 68%. So that, I can't believe those stats. What Embo come up with these stats? They're saying Manly had it for 30, they completed 30 sets, and Parramatta 21 sets.
Is that
can't be right.
Second half or whole game?
I mean, it's total. That's got the total. It's got total.
Maybe they had 28 of those in the first half.
Yeah, but
give me a look.
They had all the ball. Parramatta had all the ball in the second half. Those stats cannot be right. Whatever Embo's come up with that, sack him.
It's the NRL.
Well, sack whoever's doing the stats. Can't be right.
Oh, dear, oh, dear. 2gv.com. Click onto the feedback icon. Great call, boys. Well done. David Morrow. I trust you enjoyed working with the big man for the first time in your career.
I enjoyed working with both of them. I've never worked with Mark before, and I did enjoy working with Darryl. I've worked with Darryl, before, but it was fun. I'll get used to those all those other things that eventually.
They were picking on you for the man of the match. We announced the man of the match. The fact that it's coming up with
8 minutes before.
I thought it was right. I don't think it was going to change, was it? The players weren't going to change in that last 7 minutes.
Mark. Now, you asked me to read it, did you not?
I'm in the background trying to help him through his first night with the continuous call team, and rock-solid Brohman over here. He's given it to you saying, you've gone off too early.
He has gone off too early. We read that with about 2 minutes to go.
Well, I'm simply handing over the piece of paper.
Poor old Prawny back in the studio would have been hammered by probably 2 callers or something.
We got it in the end. Hi, team, listening here from South Australia, the best rugby league presenters here. G'day, Phil. Thank you very much for your call. Cameron, thank you very much for your company throughout the night. Great to hear you on 2GB tonight. Dave, you, Darryl, Piggy, Mark, making for a great Friday night for us here in Bellingen. All the best for a long and happy stay at 2GB. Good on you, Alan, up there in Bellingen. Beautiful part of the world. And hey, boys, from Matthew, just switched on for the first time for the season. Great to hear the dulcet tones of David Moffat on 2GB.
Well done,
a legend.
Good tones, Moffo.
David Morrow. He's got some skills to learn in the gibber department to keep up with you blokes. Cheers from Matt at Hinton. Mate, everybody commenting on a great start to the rugby league season with the continuous call team. But, boys, we've got to start with the obvious question. Parramatta, wonderful news for them. A terrific start here at home. But the Manly Sea Eagles, we hear rumours through the week and over the last couple of weeks that Jeff Tuvey's on the outer. We keep reading about Daly Cherry Evans and Kieran Foran with that hamstring injury, the fact that they may be leaving the club, looking likely. And they come out and get absolutely towed up by the Parramatta Eels. There'll be people heading back to the Northern Beaches thinking, gee whiz, what sort of a year have we got ahead?
Yeah, well, based on what we saw tonight, it's going to be a long year for them. I think depth is going to be an issue for them quite clearly. We said before the game they've got 4 players out of their squad who would have been in their 17 out of that side. Steve Maddai, Jamie Burer, George Tafua, Josh Starling. We can add to that Kieran Foran tonight. He's going to be out for a while. Clint Gutherson clearly has an injury where you would expect him to be out a little while at least. They have a player on report. Could be bad news for him as well. So they're running out of troops. We're in the first round.
Round 1.
It's not a good sign for them. So, it's got to be, just all hands on deck for Manly if they're going to. Well, they need to get some points early in the season. Otherwise, the season could be a write-off after 5 or 6 weeks.
Yeah, it could. Well, one thing about these stats you were just talking about, it highlights why percentages of completions are a load of what's the name? Because Manly completed 86% of this is right, and Parramatta completed 68%.
It's not right.
Mate, you could have 10 sets in the game and complete the lot. You have 100% completion rate and be beaten 60-0.
Give us a bit of paper. Give me that.
Rip it up.
People's Champions taught me this. This is just crap.
You can't take your shredder.
This is crap.
He'll be
Press
outraged.
the shredder button.
He'll be
someone.
outraged tomorrow.
Press the shredder.
The beauty about the continuous call team, Dave, is that we have listeners right around the globe. You can listen on the smartphone apps, and I know you had technology at the ABC, but I'm just talking about the 2GB app, which is wonderful, the 2GB app. Well, there's a few here. Glenn in Queensland. Hi, boys. Great calling as usual. Sitting in Kuala Lumpur Airport. Hoping the Eels can bring it home. That was a little earlier. Well, they certainly did that, Glenn. Matt writes on the email, currently listening to the game in Taichung, Taiwan for the Lantern Festival. Great to have the footy back. What would they say in Taiwan, big man?
Hello. We're at the Lantern Festival.
Charlie at Bexley. How good is David Morrow's call of the footy tonight? What a breath of fresh air. Good on you, Charlie. Thank you. Great continuous call team. The buy of the year in David Morrow for the call team. What an outstanding broadcaster from Brett. Good on you, Brett. And he'll be back tomorrow for the 4:30 game it is tomorrow, isn't it, from Newcastle, taking on the Warriors, which should be an absolute beauty.
Tomorrow sucks out there.
And can you believe, Darryl, that it's taken this long?
For what?
For the great man in Melbourne.
Phil Frisk.
Oh, Phil Frisk.
Mate, you're going to love Phil Frisk, Dave Morrow. What's he going to say? He said something about David?
G'day, boys. Great to have the footy back. You all did some great stuff tonight, but don't peak too early, boys. A long season ahead. Listening in from the Albury Online.
Albury Online, I thought it might have been from the Phil Frisk stand.
Does that mean that David's become David Frisk?
Did you know this? It's 12 months to the day almost since Phil Frisk went on his world tour.
Is that right?
Amazing. He sent me a text today to tell me that. I mean, it was just...
Oh, he's got your phone as well.
Don't worry, I've given him your number.
Mark Riddell's back up here in the broadcast box with us. Peggy, it looked like a fantastic atmosphere down there, and the Parramatta Eels supporters have a reason to be pretty happy as they make their way home from the footy tonight.
Yeah, they certainly do. Look, it was a very complete performance from Parramatta in that second half. All begun from the knee lift charge on Watmow. They took the 2 points, then got the ball back, and it was just all Parramatta. I thought they were outstanding. Look, I think as well in that second half, you probably take a bit out of the fact that they didn't let Manly at all come back into the game. They kept them to 12 points. There were times there where they probably could have let a soft try in late in that game, but they didn't. I thought that was what was impressive from the Parramatta side tonight.
Chrissy Sando, the man of the match, as pointed out by Darryl Brohman, the continuous call team, and Harvey Norman's Bryden's compensation lawyers man of the match. I don't think I've seen him as fit as he is, and all those people that questioned how much he was getting paid at Parramatta, well, if he continues to produce what he did tonight, geez, he's earning that pay packet and some.
I think he was complimented tonight by Norman. I think Norman played. I think he played his role too, and that's often what happens. You get some latitude on if someone on the other side of the field's creating havoc as well. Once he got onto his own, and we said, Darryl said it midway through the first half. He said, if there's a little, just once Manly got tired, Chris Sando just became the puppeteer, and that was the end of the section. He was just in everything, and that's what happened. If that's what happens this year, that we're going to see fellas that are 81 kilos get themselves into the game because the game's going to get faster and no wrestle. I think it's going to be fantastic for the game. It's not just going to be a big man's game. Yep. It's going to be, some of the quicksilver little blokes are going to be given some opportunities. And, look, I'm going to watch this team. I'm going to watch the team play tomorrow, and that Newcastle side. Now, I know it's the most stupid comment I'd probably ever make in my life, but I reckon they're a dark horse for the premiership because they have got speed to burn. And if they don't have anything wrong with their two halves, I mean, it's like everyone. Your two halves, you've only normally got two good ones. I mean, they could do anything because they've got... I mean, the fancy two Matautias and Mamo can't even make that starting lineup. You know, and they
probably are an Australian representative.
Well, they'd probably be the back three in about, I don't know how many clubs. So, yeah, they've got some speed.
Yeah. What was the mail on the way upstairs, Piggy, on how bad this, what looks to be a hamstring problem is for Kieran Foran?
Look, I don't think it's too good. Straight away, Big Man called it through in the call. He's clutching at it straight away. The fact that he just couldn't walk off the field, that kind of indicates to me that it's more than just a twinge. The fact that he really hobbled and limped off the field. You know, if you twinge your hamstring, usually you can just walk off the field and you just know it's no good. He was in a fair bit of pain there, so I think he's going to be out for more than just a couple of weeks with that one.
Yeah, okay. I would think so. I want to pay tribute to their forward pack too. I know, you know, the backs got the plaudit. Semirad Raja 3 tries, Sando 2. Hopewadi was good at fullback. I want to. Darcy Lussick, for mine, that's his best game in the Parramatta jersey. I know he's playing against his old side, but if he can perform like that week in, week out, they've got a great buy this year. I mean, I thought tonight he really took them on in the middle of the ruck, and he offloaded beautiful ball, as Piggy said in the call, to Chris Sando for one of his tries.
Well, the fact that he backed up the
absolutely.
Winger.
Yeah, the fact that he was there.
But he had even though he didn't see a lot of game time, but his opening... made a couple of mistakes in his opening 25 minutes or whatever he was on the paddock, but he was dominant out there. He was one of their best. And when he came back on, he took over where he left off in that first half. I thought he was fantastic tonight. I thought he was their best forward amongst a really good group of forwards for Parramatta.
You know who also played all right tonight, boys, and I'd love to get your thoughts on. He's been a pick-up for the Parramatta Eels. Reece Robinson, out wide.
Very good.
He was solid, wasn't he?
Yeah, I thought he did a really good job. We mentioned his goal kicking was very, very good tonight. But he just did what he had to do for a winger. I thought he's pretty slick. He looked very fast out there tonight. I thought he had some real good touches, especially when he put Lussick and then Sando over.
And then he put the rubber kick in for Sando's first try.
That's right, back through. Yeah. So no, I think he had a really good game.
Couple of more emails here. Craig at Belmore writes, "G'day fellas, great call as always. Go those Eels. So pumped Ben Fordham called bunnies for premiers. Already it's my turn. Eels are the premiers. I love you guys. Keep up the great work."
I just went to wash my hands a moment ago, and where I was, this bloke yells out. He said, "Fancy that. Fancy South Sydney being premiership favourites." They've had one game in 26 rounds, and anyway, they're entitled to crow.
And Stephen writes to help you out, Darryl, in Thailand, regarding the big man's point about the completions. Para scored 7 tries. If they scored a try on the third tackle of a set, is that viewed as a completed set of tackles or an incompleted set?
That's complete.
Because those stats have to be completely wrong.
It's complete. If they score a try, it's a complete.
And that bloke sacked whoever's the statistician.
It's the NRL. We printed it off the side.
The NRL aren't perfect. Hello, they wanted to confiscate phones midweek and change their thing 24 hours later.
Well, we couldn't get the team news on the new fancy website either, so there's obviously a few teething problems that they'll get through.
Big man, I was just thinking, what do you think's better, your Taiwanese accent or your American accent?
No, I'm a Taiwanese one.
Taiwanese one's better.
It's much better. Well, I'm good at both. I think
what do you think you go to?
Well, it just depends how many beers I've had.
Well, you had a crack at calling NFL earlier. Imagine a Taiwanese calling the NFL in America.
Maybe you should call Jared Haynes first play.
No, I've already done that,
Taiwanese.
mate. No, that won't be happening. I've already entertained the fans enough. I'm tired. I want to go to bed.
You're an entertainer.
What time are we finishing? Shortly?
In about 5 minutes.
You tired yet? You in the train home tonight, Dave? What's happening?
No. I'm right.
Bus? You got your Opal card?
I have an Opal
Got
card.
the seniors? Have you ever seniors Opal card?
Leave him alone.
Well, I thought he might have.
Do they have seniors Opal cards?
Yes,
they do.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, fair
Going
enough.
to borrow it?
I'll tell you, I found an Opal card the other day. I was walking down to the
Did
local
you test it?
local pub. It had $23 on it.
How do you know that?
Video don't. I
scared.
went into the newsagent and said, "Can you check how much is on that for me, champion?" He said $23. I said, "You're guilty. I've won the lotto." Not the lotto, but
So what did you do with it?
I don't use public transport, so.
Did you cash it in?
Do you want it?
No.
I don't want it. It's not EFTPOS. I don't think you can get the money off it.
You know,
But they're not numbered or anything.
It's expensive to catch a train, but
Yes, they are numbered. Are they? I think you'll find they are. I think you can register them.
Well,
I think that's the whole.
Mine.
Well, I think they're registered. I think their Opal cards are registered if you've got the top-up facility. So, yeah, you've got to. I think you'll find that the number's probably registered to someone.
do you catch trains, Big Mum?
Yeah, if I'm going in to get on the drink in town,
What's
I
that
do.
when your driver's not there?
No, I don't have a driving wheel. See, you're an idiot.
I must admit, when I found out
when
there was $23 on the Opal card, it's the first time I've ever walked out of the newsagent with a collect. Every time you go in there,
Have they got a number, Darryl?
Yeah, there's a number on the bottom, but I don't think I had to fill anything in. I think I was just given it and paid.
Yeah, but I think they
$50.
if you've registered it for a top-up, I may be wrong, but I think if you're registered, how people register their credit card to get it topped up when it gets down to a certain level, I think the number's registered against your name.
1318. No, don't.
It's a topic.
You know what
it's a topic.
You think Bozo? I mean, Bozo he'd have about 10 of them. I mean, he'd have his pension number and everything. He'd be ripping the government off the luck.
If he's listening, I'll see him tomorrow. So if you're not using it, just give it to me.
Hope it's got $23.
He'll be wanting that $23 one off you.
How are you ready for tomorrow? Because, you've had your own show through the summer, but tomorrow it's the big dance, as we like to say.
Mate,
the chairman's back, Ray Hadley, the immortal Bob Fulton. You'll be in there with Brett Finch, who's a new member of the team.
Well, I'm expecting full support from Finchy tomorrow because he's more my age group, because they're old fogies, those two. Well, he is. He's more my age group. He's a modern guy, Finchy, and I'm thinking he'll give me his full support.
Is that because you come from the same stable, Chimes' stable?
Yeah, that's why. Well, we're almost brothers, me and Finchy. And plus they were bagging the hell out of him a couple of years ago when he was playing. I only slightly bagged him a bit.
Rock solid Brohman.
I only agreed with them. I didn't bring it up like when he was going like a bastard. But anyway, looking forward to playing.
Before we go too, did anybody, we started off the program talking about Andrew John's head, did anybody ask him or get an answer from him on whether or not
everyone's
he has?
too scared to ask.
He's denying.
Okay.
I asked him. He's denying it.
Well, we all think he's died. It's definitely darker
He said
than
it's
what
from
it
the
was.
surf.
It'll be a top. Mate, when you go to the surf, it goes lighter.
Yeah, that's what he
It goes blondish. It's gone brown.
Yeah, I'm not defending
in
him.
brown water.
Who knows?
We got to go. David Morrow, job well done. I look forward to working with you and learning from you throughout the season.
Oh, no, I've got to learn from you with some of this stuff. But I enjoyed it anyway. It's good fun. It was a great game. It wasn't a great game from a Manly perspective, but gee, I enjoy it when I see back scoring tries, because that's the idea was, the whole idea of the game was that you put wingers in the corner with some really good football, and I love it when it happens.
We'll talk to you again from Newcastle tomorrow. Big Mum, we'll hear you from midday with Ray and the boys.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Well done, David. Good work. You too, mate.
Job well done. And Piggy, we'll catch you tomorrow as well.
Thanks a lot, guys.
That's the continuous call team on this Friday night. We'll be back to do it all over again next Friday, but don't forget, we've got the continuous call team on air tomorrow from midday. Ray Hadley heading up the team with Bob Fulton. Brett Finch will join the team, and of course the big man as well, Darryl Brohman. Full time though here at Pertex Stadium. A fantastic result for you Parramatta Eels supporters. Looks like it could be a big year. 42 points to 12 over the Manly Sea Eagles. Manly led 12-10 before half-time, but Parramatta put the foot down in that second half. Mark Levy's my name. We trust you've enjoyed your Friday night with the continuous call team. And repeating, Chrissy Sando was named the continuous call team man of the match as well. 2 games to broadcast tomorrow, but don't forget the fun and frivolity from midday with Ray Hadley and the rest of the continuous call team.